Live.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's working. Oh, I see live.
Oh, maybe.
I see Paris. I see France. I see them in underpants. Although it's a black screen. Why is it a black
scheduled
screen?
one? Or at least the scheduled one hasn't started.
Oh, hold on. There it goes. There it is.
Oh, yeah, I got an ad. Wait, maybe. I have an ad, so I think we're live.
I did it. I made it work. All right, I think we're good. Okay, now would be a good time to start inserting ads. Why? I don't know. Are there a bunch of people in here already?
Yeah, there's a few.
Oh, there are? All right, well, shit. Let's throw an ad on them then. I guess I'm going to push this button.
50 Juan. I saw an ad right off the bat. So.
It said it's time to drop an ad on people, so I just pushed the button that said drop an ad. So hopefully it'll like advertise us to more people if we do that. So
what up?
We got a couple changes, guys. We got a couple changes here. You want to hear about Zem's changes?
Yeah.
So the changes is that we are now streaming at 51,000 kilobits per second, 51 megabit.
That's
all the bits. It's all of them, dude. It's like all the. We're not even doing like a little bit of the bits. We're doing all of the bits. All of the bits. All of the bits. So many bits. So when I was inside of OBS today, I was inside of OBS. I opened up the settings and it said, "Hey, you know what the optimal settings are streaming at the crazy numbers you put in?" It said you can stream up to 51,000 megabits per second or whatever, or kilobits per second. I was like, I can. So I selected that. It also said my audio bit rate was a little too spicy at 320. So some of the audio issues we were having before with like the lag and everything could have been with problems with encoding 360 audio. So I dropped it down to 160 like they recommended, but we are streaming. I'm looking right now inside of OBS and we are green and not a single dropped frame going through a VPN at 51,272 kilobits per second, 4K, 60 frames per second, 16 super sample upscaling using NVIDIA's HEVC codec. Normally we use the other codec, the normal encoder.
H264.
But because we're playing with 4K super high bitrate stuff, we get to use the high efficiency codec.
What machine do you use for our streams?
The one you built for me.
Xeon, is it?
No, not the dual Xeon. No, the latest big system you guys built me. The Houston PC, the one that's got the X9 90
X299.
Yeah, X299.
Like a RS7 or something like that.
Yeah. So here, I'll just pull it up.
That was when it was the model numbers got weird because it sounded a lot like AMD stuff.
Yeah, here you go. It's like an Intel Core
or something.
It's an i9 7940X.
That's it. Okay.
14 cores, 28 logical processors, X299 Aorus Gaming 7.
7940X.
Yep, 128 gigabizels of DDR75. No, I'm just kidding. DDR5. Actually, it's DDR4 in this thing. What am I talking about? And and right now we are using 31% of the CPU just to encode the stream. And let me look at the GPU. I'm curious how much GPU it's taking. Last time we were at 99% GPU. Remember that but that was because I had some super sampling thing on that was like basically taking the 1080p. Let's see what we're doing now. So GPU is, beautiful. We're just cruising along at a nice paltry 73%.
Nice.
So so we shouldn't have the weird thing like when the lights are flashing and stuff. We shouldn't have it like getting all chunked. Like, like give a little spray here. This was like chunking it out really bad last time and making it look like shit. Now it's all nice and smooth. Yes. Yeah, right on. This is officially the highest bitrate stream ever. Ever. Let's hear. Brian Braley said what? Alice says in Al Quran that people shouldn't test Allah just like the Titanic sub.
Sure.
Okay, whatever. I think the Bible says you shouldn't test Jesus or something too. I think that's a big thing with religion. They don't want you to test the God because when you test things, you find things out, and they don't want you finding the bugs. That's why anybody tells you not to test something, that means that there's a bug there. That's guaranteed. Like, don't do that. Hey, don't fiddle with that lock, man. That's a feature. It's supposed to open up when you hit it hard. Hey, what's up, networking guy? He said you should see if you can get a company to sponsor me a PC.
You should see.
So wait, you're saying I should see if I can get a company to sponsor you a PC. I don't even have a company to sponsor me a PC right now. This is from the way before. I need to find a company to sponsor me a new PC. Yeah. But good luck to you. Good luck to you finding somebody that'll do it. Stream Elements bot is running. That is good. I am still working on trying to get them to get all the events up and running like they're supposed to. And I think I broke through to them a little bit. Like I yelled at them the other day on DMs for a while, and I was like, guys, it's been a year. I was like, all I'm asking is for you to delete something that shouldn't be there in the first place, and once you delete it, then I'll magically be able to use everything like I've wanted to. And to recap the issue, I use, you guys know I use Stream Elements, right? So inside of Stream Elements, when you connect up all your accounts, well, here, is it going to even let me log in today? Come on, Stream Elements. Let me in. Okay, cool, I'm in. So under Stream Elements, it says that I have Barnacules Nerdgasm YouTube channel, Jerry Barnacules YouTube channel, and a Jerry Berg YouTube channel. So I used to only have 2, now I have 3. Somehow I picked up an extra YouTube channel. And what happened was, a long time ago, we stopped getting notifications after I got hacked. Notifications were no longer going to Stream Elements because they broke the API access on the YouTube side. And so I went in and completely removed it because they told me to do that. So now it's like I went in where it was said, oh, Stream Elements has permission to read this and do this and touch the API. I disabled that and I deleted it. And they told me that when I did that, that it would disappear on their side and I would be able to re-add it back. And then it would put me through the steps like, hey, do you want to authorize Google to do this, blah, blah, blah. Well, I go back into their dashboard and it's still there. Even though the connection's broken, it still insists that the connection is good, even though the bot can't even like successfully join the channel or even like report that it's joined the channel. Even though it's in here, it'll still be like, oh, I'm not actually in here. No events ever fire. So like right now, if I click on, let's see, where's that? Barnacules Nerdgasm. Let me see if any events are firing yet. Maybe they fixed something. It says activity feed is, as of 4 days ago, there are 4 actions.
Yep, right on. Jotashi, thank you.
Blue Varo isn't showing up though, which is weird. And he just did one earlier, and Jotaji isn't showing up either. Thank you, Jotaji. I appreciate that, brother.
No, that is a bit of French, and the screen didn't change either.
Yeah, so it's still not like loading all of the events, but it's loading some of the events.
You'd think at a minimum you'd be able to go in and like delete your account, like not just like, you know, unsubscribe or whatever, but like delete your account and then start fresh. Like I know that'd be a pain in the ass or whatever, but like
for sure. But if I delete the account, here's the problem. If I delete the account, then it deletes all the SE pay stuff and the tax revenue stuff and all that crap. And then I got to start over from scratch, getting it all confirmed again and all linked back up again. And it's just,
I mean, a few days or whatever, I suppose, because like the bank's got to talk and all that jazz. But I mean, I think they could be, I mean, for the documentation side, they'd be able to send you all that information before you delete it. Or you could download all the paperwork and stuff. They email all that to you.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Like just a message and say, give me everything.
I would do it while you're on the horn with them.
Yeah.
Like, see if you could fight your way to somebody who is like tier 2 or something who could actually witness the deletion or be able to confirm that like the thing is wiped out. Sure. And then like make a new account with like, I don't know what your whatever email address you use, but put just as an example, like say you have barnacules at gmail.com, put barnacules.streamelements@gmail.com. Your Gmail won't see a difference in that, but Stream Elements should see that as a unique login, unique email address.
Okay.
And then
kind of following.
And then you're basically starting with a fresh account. Yeah.
I wonder if I could create the fresh account ahead of time without even deleting my old account first, just to see what'll happen. You know,
I have run into sometimes with the dot, or sometimes you can put a plus. Plus, not dot. I've seen it with a dot. I've done it with a dot. I've done it with a plus. And either way, sometimes some logins will like they still see that as a they'll like they drop the dot or the plus half and they still see it as like Barnacules at Gmail. But I have seen the dot before because I have actually received emails that were intended for someone not me.
Oh, that's not good.
it was just like it wasn't anything like personal or anything.
Sure.
It was like, hey, what are you bringing to the Fireflies soccer jamboree kind of stuff, like weird automated club stuff.
Got it.
For someone that's not me. And I looked at the like what email address they were sending it to, and it was, I don't want to give you guys this email address, although I'm sure it's out there anyway, but it was first part dot second part of my email. And I was like, oh, they're looking for someone that has that name. Like this is a person named this.
Weird.
And it's like, bro, but I've had my email like without the dot for like since 2002 or something. Like even before that. So it's like, what the heck? Gmail just ignores the dot, but ignores everything after a plus. Something like that. Yeah, from the Gmail side, it's all the same.
Yeah, I want to say it's like, a dot and a plus. If you do a dot or a plus, it just takes it out and acts like it's not there.
Right. And I've done that to like be able to like when I've signed up for something.
You can do a new email address.
Auxiliary.facebook.com or at gmail.com or whatever. And then it's like that's also a good way you can tell if they're selling your email.
Yep.
If you start getting weird spam mails from someplace, but they sent it to like auxiliary.cheeseburger@gmail.com, then you're like, oh, fucking Cheeseburger sold my email. But it doesn't always work out. It doesn't always work. I've tried to like game like 7-day free trials and stuff by doing that, and it doesn't always work.
No, if the service knows that you're on Gmail, they already know that trick and they won't let you do it. Like they've actively put it into their code to say no, not let you do it.
Yeah, or they're like somehow authenticating with Gmail or somehow.
That'd be my guess. Oh, I just realized I haven't shared the stream out since we went live, so I'm gonna go do that.
Dots are ignored plus a discards of the suffix. Okay, yeah, and I know there's some little tricks like that, and it's pretty fun. But it can help. It can help you get around certain, login. Oh, you've already used this email to create an account, kind of stuff.
Okay, Sarah, I put in TechTalk is live at 51,200 kilobits per second in 4K 60. Crispy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then using Video Ninja overclocked to 10,000 kbps's. This is just... Hey, how does the stream look, by the way? Let me ask you guys in chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, is this the best the thing's ever looked or what? Because this should look pretty damn baller, man. Like this.
So when I joined in the video room, it actually popped up with 3 options. Like, do you want like middle, super quality, or like smooth and cool? And I clicked smooth and cool, and it tried to lower me down to 640 by 320 at 60 FPS. I'm like,
screw that. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We're still at 720. I gotta fix that. Hold on here. We gotta go in here and go height. We gotta crank up height.
I jumped in and I say,
oh, I can go up to 2160 by 3840.
Nice. That's 4K.
When did they add that? Oh,
just recent. That must be just recently. Because
dude, I'm here. Let me see if I can make.
Those buttons were new. That gave me like quality options before joining the room.
So cool. your video settings right now are at 1080. Oh, you did 1080, 1020.
Yeah,
nice.
1080 60.
Nice. And then the bit rate.
I cranked the bottleneck. Yeah, probably.
And then I got the bit rated. Let's see here. What's the bit rate for the whole room? Here, let me click on it. So the bit rate for the whole room right now is 10,000.
It's better than Discord. Like we tried that.
It is.
Like a year ago. We tried to do Discord and then capturing that, and it's not as good.
Dude, this is so freaking.
There's some other things there's some other services we could try too. If we really like started getting hardcore and wanted to fuss. But
I mean, now that I got the bandwidth, it's like this seems to work great.
We could look into like StreamYard.
I've heard of StreamYard.
just for the capturing of our 2 video. Maybe, but this works, and so why fuss? Like I think we have enough. Good. We have enough problems when we have them. So
you know what I do love?
I don't think we need to fucking change anything.
What I do love is that I have enough bandwidth now that I can not only restream it at all these crazy numbers, but I can just open it up like full screen, high quality, and watch a preview of the high quality stream. Mm-hmm. And it won't even slow us down. I can just open it up so like right now I'm looking at the full high quality. If I click on it, go up to why are we only 1440p 60? Like when I look at the stream, it says 1440p 60 is the highest quality. Is that the highest quality you guys can select on YouTube? I kind of figured it'd say 4K 60 because I'm actually streaming at 4K 60, so I don't know why it's only given 1440p 60. I can say right now though, we look crispy as frick, dude, and smooth as silk.
It's super nice.
So this is freaking fantastic. Video
settings 1080 60.
Okay. They said 1440 p60 is the highest. Okay, so but when it saves, then it goes to 4K. So I think when it saves it to come watch it later, it'll do 4K, dude. So okay. So TechTalk is live at 51,200.
No, that's cool. Like
let's see here.
the stream will be 1440. That's plenty, honestly. Like that's can't do 1440 on a phone.
Each cam. Okay, we'll talk about OceanGate Titanic. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna put in a couple little tags here since I'm behind. Little hashtag TechTalk action, little hashtag OceanGate, little hashtag AI takeover. All right, cool. Copy that, paste, ship it. Now I'm heading on over to Facebook. Do a little Facebook jaunt to the page. I think there's at least 3 of you guys over there on the book face. I'm gonna go ahead and dump that in there. That's cool. One thing I don't like about YouTube now, well, a lot of things I don't like about YouTube, but like whenever you paste something that has hashtags, you have to click on each one of the hashtags. You ever notice that? And resolve them. Otherwise, it won't treat them as a hashtag. So you have to click on each one. Oh wait, did we lose him? Hello?
Lose who?
Oh no, you're there. I was looking at the wrong preview window. I was looking at a preview that I had paused, and you were like perfectly silent, and so it looked like you froze.
Oops, no, my bad. I was drawing on the screen in video, and I thought it was going to go out to the live, and it's not. So I had to hold still because of my drawing. And
so
it's not.
So
it's dumb.
Why didn't it work?
I think it's just for the view. Like if I wanted to be like, oh hey, like this cat over here is weird, just to show you, or like, hey, look out behind you. It's just for the conference, I guess. It didn't go out.
Oh, is this in video? Are you talking about video? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that they had like drawing controls. Here, do it again. I want to see if I see it while you're doing it.
Okay.
So here, if I blow it up,
I'll go red, and I'll go me.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
What? Really? I'm drawing on your half here. Maybe if I draw on my half, it shows.
You're drawing your half. Yeah, nothing.
Oh, that's so weird. Why not?
I wonder. Oh, hold on. What if I do highlight? What does that do?
Oh, you just disappeared.
Oh no. Okay, let me turn me back on.
Oh, and it's gone. Huh.
Okay, so if I click highlight, it makes you full screen, I think, right? I think it made you full screen. So if I click highlight, what happens? Like, then I go away, right?
Yeah.
Here, let me see.
Which would make sense. Like I'm the prime speaker kind of a thing.
We're learning
out
things.
Of focus every now and then. Yeah. That's probably weird. Because I'm going into video. Jerry's the host. And I'm a client essentially, and so mine is gonna have some variables to the quality a bit. Yeah.
So I've got high quality preview, low quality preview. What if I click high quality preview? Does it make you look any better in OBS? I wonder. I'm gonna enable it anyways. I've got the bandwidth for it. Yeah, I've got all these like scene. We got to figure out what these things do,
I'm
man.
There's around with settings in video and stuff, so I might.
There's like a scene switcher kind of thing. Like right now, you're streaming to me at 5,000 kilobits per second at 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second using H.264. Under additional controls, I can do local recording on your computer of your video or all of our video. I can tinker with your audio settings. I've got full access to your TC Helicon Go XLR Mini. I can literally turn on your noise gate.
That's a Theodoros here has a good tidbit here. He says in OBS, when you use the mouse to resize stuff, it just upscales instead of rendering at a higher res. For browser sources, go to properties and manually set the reservation there.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that.
I guess that does make sense though. Having fussed around with some overlay stuff like that, that lines up. Because like if your browser, like say you do a bunch of overlay stuff on the Stream Elements website side, and you grab that browser source, if the canvas on the Stream Elements side isn't already at 1920 by 1080 and you swell it up, it does get like blurry and weird. I've seen that.
Oh, so, okay. I've always done it full screen, so I just didn't notice.
Yeah, right. You just whatever your browser resolution's at. So,
I'm trying to figure out how the hell you were able to do the drawing. How did you do the drawing thing?
So there's like a gear at the bottom, right? You have the little controls. There's like a little chat box, a speaker, and a microphone, a camera, and all that. There's a little gear box. Click on that, and then click user.
So click on
next
the
to the button
box.
It says close settings.
Yep, I see it. User,
and then it says draw on screen.
Enable draw on screen, and then I can pick a pencil. Cycle between several audio visualization cycles.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that is. No, but I just draw on me, like
pop. Yeah, and then you can just draw on the screen, but I don't see it. I mean, which sucks. That's dumb. Like, what's the point of that then? If you can't see it, if I can't see it, then what's the point?
Yeah, that's weird. Why I wonder if there's like a mode. So minimize the control
Actually,
box.
OBS might see yours because you directly capture the video window, right? For our output. Yeah,
I do. So if I grab, let me see here, go in here again and click on user, right? And then click on draw on screen.
Yep.
So, and where do you click to draw? Just on
anywhere,
the preview?
in the video side. It has to be within the video windows because there's some space above and below. But yeah.
So let's see. So if I click on the video window here. Yeah, nothing. Wait, what?
Huh.
Disable this camera. I've got share screen with others. I wonder if it's like for a screen sharing thing, maybe. Let's see here. Mute the speaker. Yeah, that's so weird. Like you drew on your screen, I couldn't even see it. It's like, what could that possibly serve? Like what if I can't see it? If you don't
see it, then it seems useless.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up. We're gonna look that up at some point because that's
I'm guessing it's a notes taking feature. Super cumbersome because like you're using your mouse to draw on the screen.
Because I think we should both have things to draw on the screen. Because I've got this freaking thing, and I would love to use this like on stream, right?
Yeah.
I got to find the pen for it, but yeah, it's one of those Wacom tablets, you know.
Wacom pass.
Yeah, I use it as my mouse pad now. If I got the little thing, I could sit here and doodle all kinds of shit and circle things. People would love that.
OBS captures the video stream, not the preview of each other, and the drawing is rendered browser side, so OBS doesn't see it. Well, I'm not sure exactly how Jerry has it set up, but I had assumed you were browser capturing, right? Or window capture is a window capture of the video.
Yeah. Here I can switch to the I can switch to the browser scene. Here, where is it? Where's my? Gotta find my OBS. It's hiding on one of these windows over here. Okay, here I got it right here. So if I go to browser, here, there you see that's our browser. Yeah. So yeah, this is how I usually do it. And the reason why there's a black bar at the bottom and top is because I have the taskbar on here. If I hide the taskbar, then it won't be there. Right. So if but yeah, that's how I've always done it. And I mean, it looks all right. So, yeah, and then I got you over here. There's your little pretty window.
Hey, that's me.
Little pretty window there. Make it symmetrical for my OCD, so my OCDs is happy. There we go. Yeah. Now we're both living large on here.
Anyone watch Scott Manley rant about sub? Who's Scott Manley?
Scott Manley?
What a
Fly
name.
Safely? You don't know Scott Manley? Oh, come on, man.
Dude. What? How would I know? Is it the guy who crashed his plane on purpose?
No. That was.
I'm so glad that dude got slapped in the face.
Dude, I'm still waiting to hear the sentence.
He admitted to it and everything. It was fucking great. No, he got in trouble. He's like permanently banned from ever having like a pilot's license.
He needs to go to jail. He needs to go to freaking jail.
I think he did. That crashed plane.
Yeah, Jacob, Trevor Jacob.
Where is it? Pleads guilty to intentionally crashing the plane. Pled guilty to a felony charge after purpose of blah 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 blah. Oh, I guess maybe he hasn't been sentenced yet, but it does carry a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years.
Damn. Okay, so now we're gonna say, wait, how are you capturing aux video? If it's not by recording your browser window, then OBS won't see it. Well, no, it is. We're using a third-party website. I just pull him in through his own browser. So yeah, right here, width 1920 by 1080.
So if you're using a browser source, right, where you dump in the URL, then that might be why it doesn't show the drawing. Whereas if you were doing a window capture of the video tab, then it might.
No, but I couldn't even see it. Like when you were drawing and I was looking at the actual browser window of the session, I couldn't see any of your drawing either.
Yeah, so it seems to be local. So like when I'm drawing on our video stuff, it's not going to show you. But if you were doing a window capture of the video tab,
it would show me exactly what I can see. If I can't see it, then it can't see it.
Right. But if you were drawing, it would show your drawings. But
that's the thing.
Window capture.
I am completely outside of OBS. I have our tab open for Video Ninja, and just completely outside of OBS. I'm looking at the browser window with the tabs. I can switch between the tabs and everything. Yeah. I still can't see the drawing.
When you're drawing?
Yeah, when I'm drawing on my own image in my own browser, completely outside of OBS's preview, there's no drawing. Let me show
here. Go to
I think it's because I'm a director. It's not so doing it the same way.
Here, if I share my screen with you, this is going to get some Inception stuff because I'm going to share our video tab with you.
Well, let's see what happens.
Video.
Let's see what happens.
Do that? Is it going to be recursive?
I don't know. We're going to find out real quick, aren't we?
I can Inception shit. Window.
Let's do it.
Okay. Share. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is super weird.
Actually, that looks cool as hell, though.
Okay. So now I'm going to draw. And you should. Oh, yeah. I don't see a drawing.
Yeah, I don't see any drawing on there whatsoever.
Oh, weird. Huh. Okay.
But it did work when you were drawing on your window.
If I do it again. Oh, no, it's not drawing now at all.
That is so freaking weird, man.
Enable red. I drew. Oh, now now I draw. And I'll show you now.
I wish there was a way for us to just bring up a mutual whiteboard that we could both draw on.
What an interesting little tidbit. Huh.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Weird. This is fun. I mean, it's interesting. Interesting stuff.
Oh, I feel like chasing all the squirrels today. Hey, networking guy, aka PhysX, could you find us a website? Could you find us a website that has a whiteboard that we could both use, like we could both log into and use? Awesome. And then what I can do is I can add that whiteboard to Video Ninja. Like I'll find some way to get it into Video Ninja as a screen capture, and then we could both use that, and then I could overlay that as a scene. So I can make one or try to find one. Just try to find one. I don't want like if you have to make one, then I'll just make one myself. That's got everything that I want. But if there's just one out there that already exists, then I just want to try that. Donnie Pearson said, "Hello, Jerry Houston and all. Hope everyone's well, despite my #1 current Star Trek show, Prodigy, and 3 other Paramount Plus shows being canceled. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. I really liked Prodigy. I thought Prodigy was really well done. I hope they don't cancel Lower Decks though. Lower Decks is freaking hilarious.
That is pretty fun.
Yeah, have you watched? Oh, dude, why are you all like purple and green and shit now? What are you doing over there?
Other tabs are trying to steal my video source.
It was weird. It was like, dude, it was like, yeah, it was like sucking your life force out. It was weird.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like, I will get you.
Fussing around with some other stuff.
Let me click here. Video. I'm gonna mess with your video a little bit here. So, okay, so you are at so 1080. I mean, you got a really high bit rate too, and you're using it says you're using OBS virtual camera.
Yes.
Why are you using OBS virtual camera to send a video signal here?
I don't know. Sometimes I like to have the ad square.
Oh, because you could also create your own scenes, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like in Switch
scenes. Part of it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I got fancy with it, I could start doing something more with my video feed.
You know what you and I really should do after all this time doing this? We should have a day that just one day. It's just one day where we just don't even stream. All we do is just find cool ways to get both of our setups to link to each other. Yeah. So that we can figure out, like, because I want it so that you can switch scenes, I can switch scenes. I want you to be able to activate everything over here. I want to be able to activate everything over there. Like, I want to make it like cohesive where it's like we're in the same room. We can do all the same things if we're in the same room. I think that would be a hell of a lot of fun. And I think it is possible. Like, like enable like a voice changer for you if I wanted to. Yeah. Like right now I can't do that because you come in through system sounds and I come in through microphone. But like if you had like voice mod running or something like that, and then we shared the controls, like we connected to each other's servers, we could actually like change each other's voices. That could be like really interesting. Because people can already change my voice. Like if they tip enough, it automatically just picks a random voice and makes me some random voice.
You use voice meter, right?
Or a voice mod.
No, yeah, that's for the voice changing and stuff. I mean, for mixing and stuff. Do you use voice meter, Banana?
No. I don't use any of those. For mixing.
That's right. You got the Yamaha thing for mixing.
Well, now I'm down doing the road.
It doesn't create any virtual sound cards or anything for you, right? That'd be the way to go. You could take voice meter. You would point the video tab to a virtual sound card, because like right now our video audio, because I have the Go XLR thing, comes out on one of my virtual cards, so I can adjust that volume separate from the system volume and stuff. You basically do the same kind of thing, and but with voice meter, it's a little more confusing because they have really awful like labeling for stuff. But then you'd point Video Ninja out the audio output to that sound card. Then you would set that in. You would put that into the audio mixer of OBS. Or then it's just its own audio device at that point, and you can fuck with it with what other software you want, voice changers and whatever.
That'd be awesome, dude. Hey, so who was it in chat told me Theodora said to use Google Draw? I didn't even Google Draw was a thing. Like I'm just discovering Google Draw. This is awesome. How do I invite somebody to Google Draw? Like, so I want to see if I can invite you here, because then I can just pull it in as a screen capture. So like if I grab this, let me see
upper right.
Let me try here. I'm going to open it up in the browser that everybody can see on stream. Because I have two separate browsers. You need access. Request access. No, I just wanted to do docs.google.com. Okay, you were saying what?
Oh, I'm just looking at this drawing thing from the Google is weird.
What is it? Draw.google.com?
Oh, no, docs.google.com/drawings.
There we go.
I have my own Nextcloud server, and I found a collaborative whiteboard app that I can install real quick. Oh, interesting. Okay,
I think this is gonna work. So now all I got to do is
Smith. Bradley Smith said just share a Google Draw document.
Oh, it's Bradley. Sorry, Bradley, I get you mixed up. Yeah, I see it now. I just got to figure out how to invite you now because I've got one open on the screen. Like we could actually show on stream. Like if I click web browser here, can you guys see it?
Man, how come I'm trying to watch the fucking stream. I have the stream open, right? And it's like it doesn't stay live. I keep falling way behind. It's weird.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I know it's like everyone's
upper right corner should have a button that says share.
All right, so I'm gonna go up into the upper right corner
next to your little login face. It's a blue button.
So share. Got it. Okay, so I'm gonna share this.
You gotta name the drawing first.
Okay. Let's see here. Penis 69.
Dicks and butts.
Yeah. Let's do dicks and butts. Dicks and butts. I like it. All right, so dicks and butts, and now I got to invite you. Do you have an email that I can use that's like public, or do you want me?
I use auxiliary.
Take it off the screen. It's auxiliary. So auxxzilary@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yep. There you are. Boop. All right. So dicks and butts, baby. Woo. All right, let's try this. Send. So now we should both have access to whiteboard, and you are now an editor. Now let's see. Hopefully it sent you a link to the dicks and butts.
Yep.
Good idea, Bradley. This is awesome. Okay, so now the question is like, what tools do I have to work with? So I can insert images.
There's like no paintbrush though.
There's got to be a paintbrush. Come on, man. It's a drawing tool. What? Oh, there you go. Okay, you did something. I see that. Okay, did you just hold down to draw? No, okay, you can do square.
No, that was a shape. It was
There's got to be there's got to be a pencil. Okay, there's a shape, there's a line, there's a selection, insert,
text box. Yeah, there's not like just a paintbrush.
How the hell can there not be a paintbrush in a drawing app?
Lame.
Okay, this is
Bradley Smith's getting banned.
Yeah, now I know why Google doesn't advertise this anywhere. Like seriously, you can't just fucking draw? The line tool there is a free draw. Okay, here let me try the free draw in line. Okay, line, is there a free
under scribble
curve? Oh, scribble. Was there scribble? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Wonderful. Okay, cool.
Unbanned.
So yeah, there we go. Okay, this will work. So now look, it gives you all the line stuff, so you can do like a really thick line. Cool. So now we can go like this. And then boop, and then
where's those children?
Hey, why isn't my line thicker? I need a thicker line. Here we go. Hold on. And then boop. Oh, come on.
It's an SVG tool. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's definitely. It felt like a CAD app almost.
I feel like this will allow us to do much more professional streams.
Oh, for sure.
Like especially if let me F11 this bitch. There we go. I'm gonna F11 it. Now it looks like we got full screen Photoshop going on here. So now, okay, we got to talk about the submarine topic. So we got to go get some waves. Let's get some waves up here.
Yeah. And we'll draw one.
This is the waves, and then up here is like here. Give me a little boat. Give me a little boat up above the waves there. Cool. And then I feel like here a little yellow sun like up here in the corner, like just beaming down, like do. I don't know why the water turned yellow too, but whatever. I guess it's the last thing you do. Okay, there you go. Red water. I like it. Oh, that's a good. Is that your submarine? I like it. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm trying here.
Here, let me give you a little thruster on the back there.
There it is.
Then you need some turbulence. Let's do some turbulence coming out the back. There we go. Okay, so this is an accurate, and then to go from here to here, like down here, this is approximately 1.5 miles. Okay. Hey, we're not to that point yet. Boom. Okay, so this is the part where it explodes, and then this is the rapid decompression of the eyeballs.
Oh yeah, it's not an explode though. It was like an implode.
Oh, that's true. It was. Okay, hold on. Back up.
I don't have a shape for that.
So for terrorists win? What the hell?
Bomb has been planted.
What's beeping?
Not me.
Oh. It's this.
I
think it's telling me it's about ready to turn off.
What is it?
It's one of those Wii sensor bars. I dug it out the other day because my son wanted to play Wii games
Awesome.
and on an emulator, and so I plugged it in to charge. It's been plugged in like 10 years. How do you turn it off? There's no off button. Here, I'll just click set for 2 hours.
It stopped. Drag out.
I just told it to stay on for 2 hours. I know, dude, that scared me. I was like, what the hell? Okay, so now we got a word balloon. What is that? Is that supposed to be the leak?
How does a Wii sensor bar beep? It's like shutting down.
It's shutting. It's a battery powered one. Yep. It's not like the original one. It's like one that you'd set like here. I can go back and show these guys really quick. So, yeah, it's like one you just set on top of your TV. It doesn't have any cable. You can plug it in through USB if you want to charge it. But the reason that I have this one is because we don't use this one for the Wii. This is for the computer, so we can use the Wii controller and the nunchuck with a Wii emulator. So that way we can emulate Nintendo Switch games, Wii U, and Wii games using all the different controllers and stuff, just using this. And you just set it under the TV. And so it's pretty cool. And the emulators are baller, man. If you have not fucked with emulation in a while, you are doing yourself a disservice. Because it used to be, people used to be like, oh, if you're not playing on real hardware, it's just not the same. Oh boy, it has gotten so much better now that my argument would be if you're playing on real hardware, you're missing out on how good the games can be now. So like, for instance, me and my son play a game called Mario something DX, GPDX. It's basically an arcade Mario game with like force feedback steering wheel and everything. It's like a giant arcade game, you know, with all the bells and whistles. And so we got it set up through an emulator running with a Thrustmaster T300, you know, force feedback steering wheel, and a custom force feedback mod that actually gives it like way more force feedback than the game in the arcade ever had. Like literally, like you drive over different surfaces and textures and it changes how hard it is to steer. And like when you go underwater, there's like hydraulic resistance versus like regular. You can change the spring rate and everything. It's really cool. It makes it like a real racing simulator almost. The sound is like advanced, like Atmos surround sound. It up mixes the stereo to like this crazy surround sound that actually works. But the best part is the arcade game is only 720p because it's an arcade game that came out in like, I think 2012, and it's only 720p. But I can blow it up to 4K at 120 frames per second running in HDR. And it looks better than any Nintendo game on any console Nintendo has ever made, just because the way the emulator does the upscaling and all the crazy effects. And because Nintendo puts high quality textures on there, even though they don't need them. I don't know why they use such high quality textures, but they do, especially on the arcade games. But it looks freaking rad, dude. Like when you're playing it, you're like, it looks like Mario Kart 8 looks like crap compared to it. And this is a game that predates Mario Kart 8 by like 7 or 8 years. And so, no, we absolutely love it. And it plays so freaking good. But it's cool, like starting up the game and it's like you gotta put the quarters in, you gotta bind a button to be like put in the credits. Oh, nice. And then you got your banana card. You know, you got another little thing, you push a little button and it scans your banana card so it remembers your game and your tokens and stuff, just like when you used to go to the arcade. Nice. Really freaking cool. Really freaking cool. And people are gonna be like, oh, but you pirated that. I can't buy a I have no room for a $14,500 machine, but I got every other thing Nintendo makes I have purchased. So I think they can let me just play that game with my son, since there's like no one that I can physically play within a million miles.
When Nintendo deliberately pushes an update to the 3DS to like stop it from being broken or whatever, it's like so people could play old games, then like, what do you expect? Submarine. Yeah. Hang on, I gotta close my door.
Oh, close your door. All right, let's go back to the browser so that we can do our submarine animation here. So if you guys, I'd be surprised if you guys haven't heard about the submarine situation yet. Basically, for you guys that may have not been paying attention to the news, about 5-ish days ago, a submarine that dives down to the Titanic. It goes down to the wreck of the Titanic and takes passengers down 4 at a time, one pilot and 4 passengers. Go down in the submarine and basically just fuck around for like a really long time. They stay down there for like 12 hours and look at the Titanic, right?
Damn, really? That long?
Yeah, dude. Oh, I found out that's like nothing, man. The Mir, they had 2 called Mir 1 and Mir 2. They were the titanium subs that were used by the Russians. And apparently they're the subs that were also used to make the movie Titanic. All the underwater shots of the Titanic were shot from these Mir subs. These Mir subs would go under and stay down there for like 40 hours. Like they would literally go down there and camp out and live in the submarine because it takes so long to get down there. It takes like 3 hours to go down there and then another 3 hours to come back. And then you have to do all this decompression shit.
Like that's what they were paying. Yeah. I figured you'd go down. It'd take forever to get down there. And then you'd be down there for like an hour or two and then you'd come back. That's crazy.
I was shocked when I figured out that they could carry that much oxygen. Like even this submersible, the reason they thought people might still be alive is it carried,
they were
carried
it was
40 hours, dude. They carried 40 hours of oxygen for 5 people. That is crazy. So the submarine was made the big like controversy of the thing is that nobody looks at it until something happens, right? The submarine's already made tons of dives before. Nobody, gave two shits about it. As a matter of fact, news agencies were even like propping up and saying how cool it was and doing interviews with the guy. The guy was like a genius until it blows up. Once it blows up, then everybody's like finding all the holes in his evil plan.
Well, I mean, it does sound though like some folk had pointed out issues before,
big time,
even.
And the guy's a fucking idiot.
He's like, because there was some of, like you're saying, there's interviews and stuff from a year or more ago, and he's like, safety's dumb. Like at some point, like being too safe is just a waste of blah blah blah.
He was being way too cavalier. Yeah, it was. It doesn't look good watching the old interviews. Watching the old interviews now in hindsight, not good.
And I'm honestly, I'm a little surprised that there isn't some sort of regulation or something.
He literally does this. He literally does this. He holds up a controller. And by the way, this controller costs like 6 times more than the one that he's actually using for his submarine. So he holds up a Logitech like PC controller from like the 90s, right? And he holds up and he's like, yeah, we pilot the whole ship with this like little game controller, haha. And he's like, oh, we got a couple of spares in the closet here in case, you throw it against the wall and it breaks or something. We've got another, but it's not wired. It's wireless. It's using it's using I think he said it was Bluetooth,
Wi-Fi.
which everybody inside has Bluetooth phones on them that are taking pictures and shit that could be creating interference, right? And so, and on top of that, just to be clear, some ships do use game controllers to pilot the ships and stuff, but they're usually wired. They don't use wireless.
Like legit. It's at first you're thinking, oh shit, that's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
But it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
It makes a lot of sense to it because at least for the military side of it, you have to consider that the people coming in who are doing this, it is an intuitive control. Like, it makes sense to grab this thing and a lot of
ladies,
the newer generation, like basically me and younger, or even fucking Jerry and younger, can grab this and just instantly know how this works. It'd take them 15 minutes to learn the controls of how the submarine works with the 2 sticks and the buttons and all this stuff. It makes sense. It's a very low barrier to entry. And I don't think, I know people are poking a lot of fun at like, oh, they're using like the cheap ass fucking controller. I don't see the problem with that, honestly. Like they all unless it's like some cheese ball like Rocat even might, but it works. And clearly it has worked. Like these guys have done this a few times. This wasn't the first one. They weren't like,
just to be clear, my complaint is
whack.
It was wireless. That's my complaint. Oh, why am I hearing myself
wireless?
It works. And clearly,
that's
you. It's coming out of one of your screens or something.
It's coming out of me. It's me.
It's David. It's
no
David.
way.
I'm here to screw everything up.
Oh, dude.
It's David.
What have I done? Have I screwed up your audio?
It's okay. You'll figure it out. bro.
What do I need to do?
Let me see if I can get you on the screen here.
It's been so long. Oh, I know why. I'm such an idiot.
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
Are you hearing me now?
What?
Yeah, we hear you.
What a wonderful surprise.
Yeah. Sweaty, hot, steaming mess has come to join you.
He just come out of his own submarine.
Yeah, basically. I just watched the soccer finals.
Nice.
Yeah, so I thought I'm back in time. Maybe I catch you the last little bit.
Did Baz break his leg?
Yeah, man. We're not even halfway.
Too damn long.
All right, I'm gonna bring you in.
Jerry's got to fiddle with the scene now.
Yep.
Right, sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna crank you up to 9,000 here. Let's see what's your resolution at. Oh, check it out. Okay, your resolution is 720p. We're gonna go ahead and just bump that up just a little bit, maybe just a little up. Like, let's do height.
Am I being
width?
AI enhanced?
I am.
Maybe.
Make me pretty.
There you go. Okay, I'm making you prettier by the moment right here.
There is not enough AI in the fucking planet to make me pretty at this point.
Let's see. Okay, so
do the de-aging.
So we've got you.
That's it. Yeah, make like one of those bad Scorsese movies where everyone's got those weird sort of like jelly
So
faces. You know, isn't that bizarre?
You gotta love it when a wild Dr. Rodney McKay
That's
just
so
pops
rad.
into your damn live stream.
Roams in.
been a while.
Yeah. I
Free
feel
range.
awful because I it's just unfortunate that literally his soccer games were always exactly when you guys
Hey,
started.
no,
every
no,
freaking time.
Don't
You know?
don't feel bad.
Screw this children thing.
Ah,
It was that weird parenting thing where you're like going like, go team, but don't win because I have to stay longer. But as it worked out, it was good. We had like a win and a loss, and everyone was happy. And
Cool.
yeah, you know, so we're all good. You know.
Yeah.
So what did you make of this? I missed it. What did you make of the sub stuff? What was your?
We only
what was
just
your
got into it. We were
Yeah,
just talking
literally
about
just
the
diving in.
controller
Yep.
and that kind of thing.
It just captured everyone's imagination in a way that I was sort of surprised at. In a way, like I was like, it's
because this isn't something new. Like first off, this is not the first time this company has done it, and I feel confident that there's others that have done this as well.
Yeah, well, the Titanic did it, didn't they? A bunch of rich guys who ignored the safety, and then there's a certain irony to this whole thing.
I don't know. I think the folks who did like the first for the actual Titanic movie, I think they used robots. I don't think they had people down in a submarine.
No, they actually went down. They actually went down in two submarines, the Mir 1 and the Mir 2, the Russian ones I was telling you about.
Oh,
they're
okay.
solid titanium subs.
For the movie. Okay.
Instead of just a couple of caps and some composite material in between.
Yeah. His sub was literally just a 7-inch thick carbon fiber tube that he made himself. It wasn't even like a prefab tube. It's like he made it himself.
That's part of the issue, right? Is like so much of this now is coming out of like, oh, we didn't want to hire 50-year-old old guys who know what they're doing because that's not inspirational. Like
what?
How do you?
It's not like they don't have money. They're charging $250,000.
Yeah, you're just cutting corners to save a buck. And I'm.
You know what blew my mind about the price?
What people are irritated the most with is like,
what did
they
it
didn't
cost
have
to
to cut corners. They didn't have to do this
for these guys. Like the search must have cost
millions.
Dude, at $250,000. That means, and they do 5 expeditions every time they take the ship out. They do 5 expeditions in a week.
That's a lot of up and downs.
Each
down is $1 million in their pocket. So that's right, $250,000 per passenger, and there's 4 passengers.
Yep.
And they said that. Oh, actually, they said that.
I mean, the operating costs
usually they take one person that's not a paying customer. So they said there's 3 paying customers per trip on average usually. But that's still $750,000 every time that thing goes down and comes back up. And they do 5 expeditions, so it's not like they're going out and coming back in each time. It's like they're going out and doing 5 of these.
Like, give me a pair of those first person goggles. Put a freaking robot down there. You'd see more anyways. You're trying to look through a 8-inch piece of acrylic or whatever the hell they're using. I mean, like it's pure flex. It's just
hubris.
Flex. That's
it's arrogance and
better.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you guys to make funny faces so I can screen cap this and put it on Twitter and get everybody in here. There we go. I got it. Perfect.
I think that's where people are mostly getting like bent out of shape. Is just the colossal disregard for appropriate safety measures.
Well, and why did we all go so nuts? Why did the I mean, sorry, not to sound too snowflakey and woke and all the rest of it, but 500 people drowned trying to get to Greece, and they couldn't persuade one
cares.
Nearby ship to give a flying F about it. And yet 4 billionaires who signed something saying if I die, I die, I'm fine, I'm willing to, that's by 200, I'm paying the money for it. I think it just feels like something's a little wrong there.
I think in part it's an opportunity for training. It's also out in the middle of the ocean versus where there may be some jurisdictional issues with the refugees between Greece and wherever.
Well, that was part of it, wasn't it? Like, no, they're yours. You go.
Yeah. And so like I don't know who owns that section of the ocean for the Titanic, but it's probably international. And so fuck it. Why not?
It's quite the voyage to get out to it.
I didn't realize it was so close to Canada. Like I didn't realize
I didn't either.
I guess I hadn't really thought that that's where it had sort of gone down.
I mean, you guys got the monopoly on the icebergs, so it was bound to be up there somewhere.
Was it blame Canada? That's it.
Blame Canada.
American hubris, Canadian icebergs. Yeah.
You're also nice until you punch 5 holes in my hull.
Well, someone was saying that they launched from Canada because there were some rules or something. Like America doesn't allow certain things or something. I don't know. I can't
bet.
believe Canada's laxer than America.
No, and it's a long trip. It takes days for them to get out to the site where they launch. Like they have hotel rooms on board and everything. It's like a whole thing. When you pay your $250,000, they basically make you like a team member. Like I thought this was a little crazy too. I didn't realize this, but the people that are going down on the subs, they're actually helping them rig the subs. Like these inexperienced people, it's kind of like, you know, when you buy like a Groupon to go fly a Cessna and they're like, oh, here, make the flaps go back and forth. That's probably not something you should be having like unexperienced people doing, like tugging on cables and grabbing
like
stuff.
The charity tourists where they send the kids out to go and help in the wherever.
Whole thing falls apart and 50 people die. Yeah. No, not a good day.
Look, this to me, this is part of the whole space exploration thing too. I just sort of go like, let's just send robots for the dangerous stuff and not danger. I mean, I know it's all going to be a certain amount of danger. I understand we have to take a certain amount of risk. I get that. Totally get that.
Hell, space is easier.
Space is a lot easier.
Is easier.
It is a lot easier.
You don't have the same pressure issues, right? Is that not?
I mean, Jerry and I've gone over this sort of thing, talking about airplanes and space stuff. It's like you don't just get sucked out if there's a hole in the space station. It doesn't just explosively decompress because it's only the interior is only 1 atmosphere. You could stick your thumb on the hole and it would stop.
Yeah.
Because it's just 1 atmosphere pressing on you. You could, I mean, you're going to get wicked frostbite and probably burn a hole in your hand or something but you could totally
radiation that would burn through your thumb. Yeah.
You're not going to get sucked out of a pencil-sized hole because there's not enough interior pressure to push you out of the hole. It doesn't,
unless you're in a movie and then we just have to suck it out.
Then it sucks you out.
The vacuum of space is zero pressure. So you're only going to blow out as hard as there is pushing outward. It's not a negative pressure where it's sucking you out. You know, it's zero.
Ladies,
I mean, water is terrifying. I mean, water is
you get 300 feet
terrifying.
and you're getting crushed by like 1,000 pounds.
Dude, you can feel it at the bottom. You go to the bottom of a swimming pool.
Yeah.
You can feel the difference in your lung when you get to my age. You can feel the difference in your lungs. I mean, like, it's bizarre.
Yeah. Just thousands and thousands of pounds of water smooshing you.
No, I've been
water
scuba diving.
Compress, right? Water doesn't compress. So like,
do you guys scuba dive at all?
I done a little bit of it.
So when you go scuba diving, they tell you that basically the way a regulator works, the thing that puts the air into you, right, is it's balanced. Oh, somebody's getting me. Oh,
what the hell?
Oh, crap. Hold on.
Oh my God.
David looks like a French literature
what
professor.
The hell was that?
Trey Bon. The team is back woot.
That's an incredible reaction for $5.
That was gimpy, man.
Somebody has been busy. Somebody.
Yeah, I did a little automation. You've
been playing with your Arduinos again.
Yeah, I played around my little dingle Arduino. Hey, Gimpy, thank you so much, man. Gimpy said that you look like a French literature professor. Trey Bon. The team is back. Woo! He says you do. Yeah, you look like a French literature professor.
I look like a homeless man is what I look like. I look like someone who, you know.
Let's see, can I get it to read it? Here, I always say read aloud for this section.
French literature professor.
He's all famous now.
Yeah, man. I saw it was, Xbox or something was talking about it.
He's the face of Game Face. He's the face of Game Face. He's like
sellout piece of shit. Microsoft.
The Google AI guy. Yeah.
So
how do we sell out, Gimpy? How do we do that?
Right. Yeah, I used to know how to sell out.
We gotta work on selling out better. Oh, I sold out. I'm selling coins. I'm selling my coins.
Oh, are you? Show us. Listen, hey, let's huck some of your shit, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's sell it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's a nice coin.
I call them Stargate inspired because they have little.
And you don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Jeremy said, and you don't want to get sued.
And you don't want to get sued. Yeah, generally not. I don't want the MGM lawyers after
Inspired.
me. Inspired. Yeah, exactly. I actually talked to Lance about it, and Lance was saying like, just freaking sell them, basically. So, yeah.
That's so freaking cool. I got coins too. I made mine.
Did you get coins as well?
Yeah, I made a little bit. I made my little Bitcoins. I'm out of my Barnacle coins, but that's a 3D printed coin in copper. Yeah, it's polished copper filament. Yeah,
do you sell them? Can you buy them?
I used to back in the day. I sold them all. I have a history of anytime I do something that's successful, I stop doing it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a weird hang up that I have. Anytime something's successful, I feel like something's wrong and I walk away from it. Yeah, so back when I had a merch, I do. It's weird. Back when I had a merch store, I was like not selling hardly any merch, no shirts or anything. And then I started 3D printing these little Christmas ornaments that I hand signed. I numbered and signed each one of them. And I printed like 100 of them. And I printed some in the copper material and some in just red plastic, right? Put them all up on the site. I sold like 90% of them. Ended up making like $12,000 or $15,000 in 1 month just selling them, and
we're not making that.
which was the most I'd ever made in a month ever from my merch store. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And instead of printing more, I just never did it again. Oh no, I had a company that did it.
Cheap,
I had a company that did it.
$2 or something to ship something.
Wow,
like
I
that.
just-
It's nothing.
Yeah, all I did is
in.
print them. I just print them, put them in a bag, send them to my friends. They ran the business called Merch Minion. And they'd ship everything, handle all the logistics for me. But unfortunately, they went under.
Figure that out, because you know what I'm doing? I'm going to spend the next week stuffing envelopes because there's only 175 of these. That's
Okay.
all. I looked into another run of ones that would be slightly different. So if people wanted to get a cheaper one, I could get a bunch more and they would be cheaper. But there's only 175 of these, and they're freaking. It's like I was like, I got a lot of mailing to do because
Is it like nickel or something? What'd you made out of?
it's
I need to
real
get your coin.
metal.
So yeah,
I
like
have
nickel.
no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's or at least like
I'll buy
Well,
one
I
from
think-
you. I got a metal
No,
Jesus one.
I'll send him. I'll send you one. You don't have to.
That's my metal
I think
metal
coins-
Jesus challenge coin.
Zinc.
I
It's like
held
zinc
back-
nickel combo.
Yeah, I
for
don't know what I
American
should look
coins
it
at
up.
least.
I bet you it says on my invoice somewhere. But
Dang,
but
that's
no,
hefty. That's hefty duty, man. That's
it's
lasts
nice.
forever.
It's
Yeah.
heavy, and also
Yeah.
this is the thing. As I thought,
I like a good feel to
no
something.
one throws out a coin. No one
Yeah.
throws out a coin. People throw out plastic.
Ooh.
People throw out
Yeah.
little tchotchkes, but coins.
Yeah.
Always keep a coin.
Hey, what's
I
up,
like
Jim
the
the
idea of,
Evo?
like challenge coins and stuff like that. That's rad.
Yeah. Oh my god, I want to do a whole. I was talking to Lance about this. Like, we should do like a coin game where you just like print out a whole bunch of different coins, and you have like different like hit points on them. You can do like some really nerdy fun stuff with it. You know what I mean?
Instead of Pokemon, it's Pokey Money.
Yeah, it could be like Pokey coins,
Little
Pokey
coins.
Yeah, pack coins or
There
something.
you go.
Like, it'd be something
There you
like-
go.
Yeah. Look at it, Ox. Look at Ox. Ox. has
Hey
got it.
man, I'm
He's thinking,
very
Craig's
much in the
turning.
mindset of trying to make some money on the side, man. I don't want to do
dude,
9
I've
to
got
5
it as
anymore,
well. I
and
gotta get
that's
out of-
looking rad.
Me
That
too.
sounds
I
really
just-
cool.
I
This
found out if I
hobby-
don't make money, I'm gone next year. Like if I don't make money before next year, I disappear and you guys never see me again.
Man,
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What do you
man.
mean?
I'm basically, well, we ran the math and we're going to be financially basically at zero after the IRS takes a swipe at me this year.
Oh,
Snap.
dude, we got
we'll
nailed. We
basically
got
be at zero
nailed.
next year. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I'll just have to sell the house and
You
start
gotta
selling stuff.
coins, man.
So,
All the coins.
well, no, that's what the year's for. I got to figure out how to use the rest of this year to do something. But here's the thing: you can't sell a coin unless people want to buy a coin, and
I'll
you can't
buy
get
the
enough people
coins.
to want to buy a
There's people
coin.
in
I'll
the
buy
chat
the
right now
coins.
saying, I want to buy a Barnacoin. They want
and
David's
Bitcoins.
coins.
We got
Fine,
David-
I
there's
will
only so
print the
many left.
coins. I will
I'd love a
design and
mug.
print a coin.
I'd love a mug
doing
with
it.
all 3 mugs
Mine
on
are-
it. Says Martin. Yeah, that's a
Hey,
good idea.
speaking
Oh,
of
that would be
mugs.
good. We should do a mug of
Speaking-
like one of our
With our-
goofy.
with all our faces on it.
What's Ziply?
This
What's
is
that?
my,
Internet?
my internet provider sent me the best coffee mug I've ever had in my life. It keeps coffee hot for like 8 hours.
Dude, this is
Yeah,
so good.
so you don't have to get up. You can stay on your internet. That's what they
Yeah.
want you to use your internet
Yeah.
for.
Oh, dude. So check this out.
See,
Guess
I'll
how
buy
many
Jerry
bits.
Look at that.
Guess,
See, I can
guess how
slip
many
that in there?
bits I'm streaming at right now, David.
A
Put on
mug.
your nerd hat. Guess what resolution and how many bits I'm streaming. How much bandwidth I'm using for this production right now.
I have no sense. I have like honestly no sense. What?
Okay, I'm maxing out everything to its
100
max.
megabits
So
per second.
getting close. so
Is it?
so right now
isn't that
we're
like isn't that fiber? Fiber's like 100.
yeah.
Isn't fiber
No,
around 100?
fiber's
Yeah.
like 1,000.
Gigabit.
1,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I got 1,000 each
okay.
way. So
What is
check
this?
this out. Right
DSL?
now, I am streaming.
What is that
I'm
cost
streaming
you?
it's $60 a month.
$65.
That's it. That
60
costs
bucks a month,
more-
yep.
That costs less than mine, and mine is.
I
just
know.
Like, mine's like a bunch of guys with tin cans saying,
Dude,
what did he say?
I was paying $116 a month for 40 times less upload speed than I got now.
And now you're with this company Ziply, and they give you
Ziply.
money. They better
Yeah.
give you money.
No, they're just
They give him
they're
a
my
cup.
internet provider. They just gave me a cup. this is my
And some
They-
stickers or something too, right? Didn't they give
yeah,
you
they
some
gave
other
me a
stuff?
cup,
Mine-
some sticker, and some
Mine
coffee.
just gave me shit about
a
the
cheap
fact
date.
that they didn't want to run the cable where they were. I was like, guy, just put a cable under the thing. Like I wouldn't go under our porch to go around instead of you want to
Oh
go
my God,
over.
that sucks.
And I
Oh
was like,
my-
screw,
Dude,
I
I'll
end
do
up
it
going under
myself.
my own porch.
Yeah, give me 20 minutes. I'll be right back.
So right
sucks.
now,
Like-
I haven't dropped
job.
a single frame, not a single frame this entire stream, and I haven't dropped a frame on my Twitch stream either. When I always drop frames, if you guys remember,
when it
every
goes wrong.
YouTube channel,
This is when it falls apart.
No, but seriously, Ox, can you remember a single stream that we've ever done where there hasn't been like hiccups and people like, oh, you're frozen, or oh, it's not working
There's
right? or-
only a handful.
'Cause I was-
Probably on one hand. Probably on one hand, we've had that many streams
Yeah.
where there wasn't some problem.
There's
of some sort,
always
yeah.
something. Yeah, there's always something. Well, since they installed this fiber connection, not only have I not had any cutoffs, I haven't dropped a single frame. I've been through a VPN the entire time. I'm going through Cloudflare right now, and I averaged through Cloudflare 700 megabits up and down through the VPN. My ping still is 4 milliseconds, even through the VPN. And so right now with YouTube, I am streaming at 25,200 kilobits per second, which is 4K 60 using the HDR codec. And I got you guys coming at me through Video Ninja, and I'm pushing that at 10,000 kilobits per second. So you guys are coming into my system at 10,000 kilobits per second. Then I'm compositing you into the other one, sending it out at 52,000.
Well, there you go. Rent me a freaking room, and that'll help you out next year. I'll just live with you,
dude. It's awesome. Fiber is worth it.
Canada loves monopolies when it comes to any kind of telecommunications. It's like worse than anything I've ever seen. We have literally 2 options, and that's it. And one of them is complete shit. And I'll
tell you what, I've never been so happy telling my old internet provider off that I've had for like 20 years. They literally, I get on Facebook. This is how I talk to them, because calling them on the phone, good fucking luck. This Wave Astound. If you ever have an internet provider called Wave or Astound, they're the same company now. Terrible, fucking terrible. But they were they were the fastest provider. My options were either get cable service, which is technically 900 megabits down, but only 30 up. How asymmetrical can you get, right? So that was my option.
The cable stuff.
Yep, that's the cable stuff. And then I had DSL. The DSL's 15 megabit and like 2.5 up. Not even usable. Not like my cell phone has higher speeds than that. So when fiber came to town, and it took like 6 months of me going back and forth, there's a bunch of problems. I had to clear city planning permits and basically bribe the city to do the things that need to be done to get the fiber to my house. But now that the fiber is actually to my house, I'm like, oh my gosh, this internet connection is amazing. I ran a ping test for 24 hours, where I basically just ran full bandwidth, 24 hours, because there's no cap. I can just eat up as many terabytes as I want. I ran full upload, full download, pegged for 24 hours. I never, oh God. Oh boy. Oh gosh, here we go. Oh man. Oh Jesus Christ.
Do the coins that Dave sells come with an autograph? Maybe Jerry's coins could also come with an autograph.
Do the coins that Dave sells come with an autograph? Maybe Jerry's coins could.
They do. They come with a letter of authenticity. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Holy mother! This place is lining up a bit since I was last year.
Right? It's so loud. This is all new to me too. He told me he'd set this stuff up, but I haven't seen it. This is the first time I've seen it in action.
Let me get my light back on. There we go, get my light back on. Yeah, no. So this whole thing. Thank you, Meat Puppet. I hope you enjoy. Anytime you guys do a super chat, it does that. By the way, he said, "Do the coins that Dave sell come with an autograph? Maybe Jerry's coins could come with an autograph. Any coin I sell would come with an autograph."
Yeah, mine comes. Mine's. I'm gonna do a stupid pretend official letter with a little signature at the end.
Yeah, when you get as old and washed up as me, you just want to force your signature on people just so you can claim that people wanted it.
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am?
My son was laughing at me because we took an Uber to the soccer match this morning, and I'm talking with this kid who's driving the car, and he's like, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm in the television industry, and I was in a show called Stargate." He goes, "Yeah, I think one of my dad's friends is really into that." And I'm like,
ouch.
But you know what was weird? He watches C. I was like, really? You and 10 people? Who watches C? But he was all excited about that, which was weird. So there you go.
That's cool, man. Look, you got other performances.
Baz like, Dad, you really don't have to talk about it. I was like, yes, I do. I don't.
No,
get
you
out
don't
much.
understand. You do not understand. This is a big deal.
Yeah. You don't Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something cool about people just recognizing you, and when you don't know who they are.
Oh yeah, man.
It's
I don't
a rush.
get that though now.
It's a rush.
I was sort of joking that before the pandemic, I used to get Stargate people, and then after the pandemic, I guess my hair went gray. I went bearded. I gave up hope. I guess I look different now. I look at Stargate now and I go oh my, who's that kid? He's a child, I say.
You know what'd be funny though? As an experiment, if you ever wanted to do a vlog, just to get into vlogging, is go to do the reverse of the kids that put on the costume. They put on a costume and then they take it off and get recognized. Ever do the same thing except for as yourself now, and then go to a place and get them to cut your hair, dye your hair back to the color, or whatever. Shave your face or whatever. Get you the right glass frames, and then have you walk back through the same area.
Things to suck in my gut.
Exactly. Girl you up and everything, and then walk the same route back as a part of the vlog and count how many people do a head turn and see who you are. Because I guarantee you, it's it does make a huge difference.
The old man in the girdle. That was funny. Actually, I visited this amazing robotics company up here called ClearPath Robotics, and they've got another division that just does industrial robots, which is auto robotics. So
that's cool.
I'm literally walking around these facilities with these autonomous robots coming blasting at you, and then going like, human, and then sort of like moving around, and they stuck little googly eyes on them all. They're amazing, these things. Anyways, but and
I love robotics.
The guy who runs the place, who is like a big Stargate fan, and it was lovely. He took me around, and it was fun. We hung out with Hacksmith. Hacksmith came as well.
God, I'm so jealous. Everybody has met him except for me, and I talk to him on DM all the time.
He's like, so much like
he's such a cool
so much
dude. Fun.
He is he's the real deal. He's like he loves his stuff. He loves his engineering. He loves Anyways,
he's a legit nice guy. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And like talking about one of us, like he's one of those guys who he was like, we're in this giant lab. There's like freaking robots zipping everywhere. He goes, come here. And I'm like, what? And he goes, these forklifts are off by 0.002% of a degree or something. I was like, what? How the fuck do you know that? And he goes, and he points and there's a little sticker on it. And it has a bunch of codes on it, and which I guess is just some kind of standard engineering. And he's like, "That's what that means." I was like, "We're in a room full of fucking autonomous robots, and you're excited about a fucking sticker on a piece of bent metal." Like, it was just great. It was like that's him. He's just
my mind blown was last year. He James just DMs me out of the blue on Twitter and goes, "Hey man, you want to play some COD?" I'm like, wait, what? Like. I was just shocked. I mean, we've talked before, but I was just surprised that the Hacksmith messaged me. Just, hey, the Hacksmith.
Oh, Hacksmith.
Yeah, Hacksmith. His real name's James. And he just messaged me and he goes, hey, dude, you want to play some Call of Duty? And I was like, hey, I can't play right now. Maybe later. Oh, yeah, anytime, man. Be cool. I was like, oh, dude, you're so lucky.
That's the guy who built himself an iPhone from the bazaar in China or something.
No. That's Scotty.
Destination. Yeah.
That's Strange Parts. Yep.
Check this
out.
Okay.
Look what he got. This is the. Oh, are they selling those now, or is that a prototype?
I think it's still. That's
pre-production because they're not selling them yet. I don't think.
It's a founder's edition. He's really cool. He gives them. I mean, but he's giving me a bunch of these little bits you put on top that change the color, so they can be green and blue
like copper and magnesium.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. Yep.
Check this out.
I mean,
what is it running on? Is it butane?
Butane, yeah.
How is he getting that hot of a flame from butane?
It's like, I don't know. There's a whole, they're so beautiful. Go check out the Hacksmith store. Go to Hacksmith Engineers.
They're not like expensive. I don't want to say they're under $100 or something too. They're not bad.
And they're designed like freaking Apple. They've got the most beautiful. Do I have them?
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
Oh man, if I had some money, I'd buy one right now.
Like the boxes and the. Like the boxes.
Yeah, these are the guys who did that plasma.
Oh god! Help me, Tom Cruise!
Hi, Jerry. Whatever happened to that aggregated bonded ISP service that you had that
but go check out
multiple
Hacksmith Industries
internet
store.
connections?
I've also got his
how's Xander?
His what's it called? His workshop coat. So it's this black, like not one of those like ones that just sits flat on you. It's like it's got a little bit of tailoring to it. Giant logo on the back. A billion pockets. I come down here and I just put it on and I got all my shit in it. And it's like, love it. And then I was out walking the dog and I sort of forgot to take it off. I walked the dog. Freaking kids running up to me. Do you work with the Hacksmith? I'm like, no, but does any of your parents watch Stargate? Yeah, whatever, you creepy old man. But it was there that like people just freaking love that guy and his channel and I'm telling you his merch is like 110%. Like he does it all himself.
Nice lab coat.
Oh yeah.
What makes me sad though is he suffers from mental health issues just like I do, and it's so sad watching what that does to somebody when they're at the height of their game. It's like he is so lucky to have the other guys as partner.
Yeah, he pays them.
Like no, of course he does, but
not the partner. Sorry,
the partner is his best friend, like his best friend in the world. Like they started the company together, right? And if he wasn't there, like the company would have fell apart. Like he was able to just take over everything, so James could just go get right. And he's lucky. He's lucky that he had him, because I know exactly what that feels like, to where you just have nothing to lean on. Right? You have to just disappear, and everything dries up and goes away. And it's like he can't do that when he's running an operation that has that much money moving through it.
Well, and you beat yourself up about it. I mean, you're beating yourself
constantly.
Up
He is such a perfectionist. He is such a perfectionist. Like, dude, you saw I'm sure you did. You saw the John Wick video, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he promised for the John Wick video, he promised the production team that he was going to build like an actual make it real, because that's his thing, right? Make it real.
Yeah.
And he could not get the damn thing to stop like a high speed bullet from a rifle. He could stop the bullets from pistols all day long, but every time he got to the high rifle calibers, he couldn't. He could have just stopped. They were okay with just the pistols. Like that would have been fine.
Oh yeah.
But he kept going, and I think he went through like 500 or some on different samples where he was doing different layering, and then he finally actually did produce one that stops I think it's like class 4. It's like a heavy armor that it can stop bullets moving at supersonic speed.
It's basically more powerful than it's right. It's more protection than the one that John Wick would have had in John Wick. Correct. If John Wick was real, John Wick's jacket would not have been as good as.
Yeah, if you shoot him with the vest, and with the undercoat thing, or the undervest and then the overcoat with both layers, it'll stop a 2.23 or a 5.56 round. Yeah. That's literally an AR-15 as hot as it gets, right? Like from that boom, point blank. I mean, well, within like 10, 20 feet, they were shooting. It was stopping them over and over and over again. Not a single one got through. I was like, holy crap.
That video he did of the making of it, like you're like, holy crap, this is like during the pandemic. They're in this rifle range. They're trying stuff out. They're doing it's amazing.
I just could not believe how many permutations he went through, because I'm sure he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just to make sure that the suit delivered on his promise, instead of just doing it in post. Like he could have just in post been like, oh, if you shoot it in this exact spot, it won't go through. But no, he wanted to make sure it worked as if you were wearing it. So he was shooting it all over the place.
Well, have you seen the tour of Hacksmith Industries?
I wish. I've seen the video tour, but I haven't seen it in person. I'd love to someday.
It's extraordinary. Like it is. I was like, I almost felt like crying. I was like, this is everything every nerd would ever want, and it's all here. And it's all.
And you know what else is cool?
He's got laser cutters he's got small units, not even small, like a laser cutter the size of my room.
Yep, not even. And he gets. I think a lot of it he gets for free too. lot of it he gets for free just because companies know that having that tool. Yeah, it's like they get the best advertisement on earth because he's going to push the tool as hard as it'll go.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the loader that he built from Aliens, that thing's freaking insane, right? The amount of money and time that he's put into that. He just has a way of just putting in, like the Cybertruck that he built, the little tiny Cybertruck, end up costing more than a full-size Cybertruck if he bought one today. Like that's how much R&D went into creating that.
I was like, dude, like, why don't you just do? I said, look, why don't I come up for like a week and we'll do like the Stargate intern, and I'll just have people show me the equipment that throws up a bunch of videos for you. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just a little bit of video stuff for you. And he goes, I wish I could do that, but I am famous and our mission is to make things. I can't, like, if he starts falling, he's worried that if he starts falling back on easier content, it's going to be, it's going to be,
well, that's the problem is he suffers.
That's good though. Focus. You got to focus on your thing.
Yeah, he suffers from the Mr. Beast, the same thing that hits Mr. Beast, where it's like Mr. Beast will throw away $1 million video and never let it reach the light of day. Like he'll shoot an entire production just because he said it does not meet, if it does not meet his requirements. If he watches the video and he says that that's not as good as the video could have been, like if it feels like it falls short in any way, he throws it away. Like he did a video where it's like they were running cars into like giant concrete walls and stuff, like flinging cars into it going 100 miles an hour, and the cars kept kind of veering off and not hitting the wall straight on, and then the wall had a failure, and so then they just started smashing up all the cars, just trying to have fun with it and save the video. And he said, because they never hit their goal that he set off in the video, that all that footage he just threw away and scrapped it. And then later on, he used it years and years later to illustrate his point, showing like this is the quality of content that I just throw away. And we're talking, he had like medics there, people bringing the cars, stuntmen training people, the people are building the walls, renting the location of the racetrack where they were doing it. And you're like, that's all just a throwaway. He said he makes $0 off of that entire production, even though he puts out nearly $1 million. And he said that's not the first $1 million video he's thrown away. He said he throws away more videos than he actually publishes. But he can afford to do that. That's the thing, he wants to make sure. Well, to be successful like at what he specifically does, he has to make sure that every single video that he creates outperforms the previous video of the same caliber. Like if he creates like a video that's $100,000. Yeah, I think so. And plus, he just wants to be the biggest channel in the world, right? So He said anything that he creates, it has to get the maximum views that it possibly can. Otherwise, it's not worth doing.
But this is what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I feel like this is a treadmill that I worry about. Like, I think this is going to chew people up and spit them out. Like, you have to have
a mentality. It's weird. Yeah, you got to be a special kind of person to do that.
But I think you could be a special type of person, but I just don't know if you can sustain that forever. Like, I feel like the machine will replace you. Like, the reality is, it doesn't matter how big you get, someone else is going to come along eventually. And Google doesn't care whether it's you or someone else, or if it's spread out among 1,000 people who get a fraction of those views, but they all add up to, you know what I mean? Like, I just worry about this kind of mentality. Like, there was an interesting point that Lance mentioned the other day. Gippy G was saying that like Moist Critical didn't post for a couple of days or a few days.
Yeah,
and he was saying his views dropped like by 8,000 or something. And I was like, I would not be surprised if that is done on purpose.
No, it is.
You can't reward people for not posting.
Yeah, I've already done the cost benefit analysis of missing a single Twitch stream. It makes me sick. If I miss a single Twitch stream, I can actually track the loss, not just for that one stream that I missed, all the way 6 months out before I recover. So if I miss a single stream, just the number of subscribers that I miss, just because of the sheer number of subscribers that if I'm not there on that day, when that's the day when their subscription runs out and they would normally renew it, if I'm not there on that day, they go watch somebody else, and then they're like, hey, if you got a sub, and then they'll sub to that person, and then the next month, the sub will come up on that channel, and they'll keep resubbing there, and they don't come back. So
I'm such a disaster.
I'm
the worst YouTuber ever.
So the algorithm is set up, and that's why you notice now on Twitch you see a lot more 24/7 streaming channels that never shut down. They just stream 24/7. Like I think of all the channels I follow, we're up to like 7 now that are 24/7 that never shut down.
Brilliant 3D printing one. I love. Oh my god, I can watch that forever.
Yeah, Maker. What is it? Maker something? Maker Deck. Maker Deck.
Yeah.
And so the reason that they do that is because if you think about it, it makes sense. Even if your content isn't that good, even if it becomes hugely redundant and people don't really like stick around that much, it doesn't matter, because as long as they come back when you're on camera, like let's say you come on camera 4 hours a day and you're there, then everybody comes in and they're partying. And then when you leave, they just drop off slowly over time. But then what happens is people raid you because they see you're live, and because you never stop streaming, you never share that raid with somebody else. Therefore, those people come and raid you. They usually give you a sub, give you a follow at least or whatever, and then they hang out. And they meet people in your chat, and then that chat's always booming 24 hours a day. So it's like a channel you can always go to and rely on something being there.
So you become a community rather than
a community. Exactly. You become a micro platform. And what are you gonna stream, Barnacle? Oh well, that's the plan. I'm probably gonna take my entire YouTube library and put it on loop on Twitch, and basically just pop in and do 4 hours a day. And I'll have to, and I need to do it earlier in the day, because another thing is whoever starts streaming the first. Now, again, it depends on where your demographic is, but for my core demographic in the United States, I always stream really late at night. But that's a really bad move, because when I stream late at night, all of the other streamers that are in my same demographic stream earlier in the day. Everybody goes and watches their streams. They usually, any bits that they have to give or any disposable income they have is already blown on them. And then by the time they get around at night, they're like, well, I'm past my budget. I can't spend any more today. And so you get a lot less as the day goes by. And I've looked at that measurement too. If you do a really, really early stream, you usually make 6 to 12x, which you would make if you do a really, really late stream. And it's just because of the availability.
What's early? What's
so like for me, noon, because all the people that are in my space, like all the other 3D printing channels, tech channels, people that are doing programming, stuff like that, they all start their live streams usually around 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon when people are getting off work. So if I started streaming at 11 or noon my time, because again, this is my full-time job, a lot of them have day jobs still. If I did that, then I would be able to hold the audience until I stopped streaming, and then I could raid one of them. And then my audience would then go from me to them after I had the audience first, instead of me hoping that they raid me. You know, one of them raids me, and that rarely happens. But if they do, by the time they've raided me, everybody that come over is already, they've already given their prime sub to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to, if you're looking at it from like a business perspective, the best thing to do is to stream as frequently as possible, as early as possible for your demographic. And make it interesting. Like I have all this automation now that allows people that when they super chat me, I basically get blasted by a smoke machine. I get 2 high intensity lights flashing up. Yep, look at that. See? Oh God, here we go. Woo! Oh man, that actually did it for a channel friend.
Percent message percent.
Okay, I gotta fix
was
that. It's percent. Okay, so net cost ENT. Okay, so apparently even a channel friend fires that. So what happens is anytime somebody does a major action on YouTube, what it's doing is it's turning on a leaf blower. You hear this? Listen.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a leaf blower.
Yeah.
So it turns
That's
on a
your
leaf
Marilyn
blower.
Monroe. His little Marilyn Monroe thing. Yeah.
Yep, and then what it does is it does the lights. It does the red lights to kind of like let you know what's going on, and then it'll do like the green light. So it's like go, you know, and then as soon as it goes go, it fires smoke, and then smoke is this button, and then the smoke starts firing, and then when the smoke fires, then it turns on the leaf blower, and the leaf blower circulates it around and blows it around, and then the lights will accentuate it. So now if I turn off the main light, like when I'm on my other stream, I usually have all the lights out. So I turn this off and I turn that off. Now watch how much more it lights up. So the lights are super bright like this. So see, and I got a light on this side and I got a light on this side, so I can light each side of my face and make it look like the cops are coming to get me.
It looks like you're like it's either you're in an episode of Cops or you're like in some kind of like Miami dance.
Right? See, and then I go like this. Look how the light like reflects off of the fog, right? And then I got some music I can put on, you know.
Rip VOD. You're gonna get DMCA.
Hey, Wizard, why don't you? That's smart. Why do you? Oh, I guess you can't just play music, of course, because you'll get freaking.
Well, no. There's copyright.
No, there's plenty of royalty free
like
stuff.
Nefix.
Yeah.
Nefix has been great, man.
I like Harris Heller's stuff. Harris has a whole like for everything from like rock style music to like techno.
Thank you, Net Cost. I appreciate it, man. Oh shit! Here we go. Here comes another.
Keeping you alive for one more hour. Slightly
Keeping me alive
smiling
for one
face.
more hour.
That's it. You just bought yourself another hour.
And the
in
cool thing is, I split everything with auxiliary, and we don't give shit to David because he's still a movie star. He's still a movie star with selling his coins.
I'm selling my coins.
I'll tell you what, David.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, David, the rule is though, is as soon as you're no longer famous and nobody recognizes you in a mall anymore, then we'll cut you in on a third, okay? So when that day comes, we will get the contract written up.
Thank you. So it didn't trigger for that one. Thank you.
Oh, why didn't it do that?
What is
Blue
sponsored the channel?
Varo just gifted another 5 memberships to the show. Thank you very much.
Camera unites. Look at that.
Well, luckily for Blue Varo, I happen to be a god among men, so I can trigger that event all by my lonesome.
Trigger it again.
So here, let me. Why isn't it opening up here? Okay, there. Okay, watch this. So I can go into my action queue and I can trigger any other action I want again by just clicking on it and saying go. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna do it. 3, 2, 1. Requeue, go. Wait for it. Wait.
Anticlimactic.
That was weird.
That was a fucking failure.
Hold on. There's a fucking failure. Didn't So I think he actually did fire the vent. I just don't think it worked. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. So
that particular kind of event may
it was
not
Blue Varo, right?
Yeah.
No, it fired
a bunch of memberships. Well, no, but maybe it's not looking for that particular style, like that particular kind of event.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it right. Oh, hold on. Let me look at the super sticker event. Hold on. So YouTube super sticker.
There's so many events. I don't know how you keep track of this thing.
So super sticker, put super sticker up there. So does it say Blue Varo anywhere up there? No, it just says %text.
Yeah, those are variable names.
And then it's supposed to do sticker alt text, and then it's supposed to change the third line to the amount. Does the third? No, it just says amount.
It's just variables.
Okay, so that all screwed up royally, and then it's supposed to say thank you username for your super sticker support in chat with an emoji. I think, did that fire at least? Yeah, Blue Varo. Yeah, thank you for your super sticker. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and change that action entirely to be the super chat, because the super chat thing is cooler anyway. So I'm just gonna go into streaming apps, integrations, stream elements, and then I got to do a search for, or actually no, I got to go YouTube, right? I got to go to platforms, YouTube.
Doesn't have the same spontaneity to it, does it?
No. I'm trying to, dude. This is the. Have you seen StreamerBot?
No.
This is the most convoluted program I've ever seen in my life. It's literally just like 50 tabs of this multiple document interface.
ChatGPT will program it for you soon enough.
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure it was programmed by ChatGPT.
Oh, really?
Okay, so membership gift is a super sticker, and then I've got a gift membership receipt fire super sticker, and then I got member milestone event is a super sticker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change those all to a super chat. So now anybody that does any of those, let me select one.
So you'll get the
select
same
to-
event for all of them
Yeah.
now instead of separate ones, right?
Yep. So now those are all super chat events. So if you do any of those things let me save it so it commits it. Okay. From this point forward, membership gifts, gifting memberships to other people, or member milestone event, which I don't know what that is. And then I think I got to go to super events, super chat, super event sticker. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to change super sticker to super chat here, and then super chat. Okay. Now everything is a super chat. So it'll just go freaking balls out crazy now for everything. Which is cool. Now
Which will
the
be
way
exhausting.
Dude, the way this works is actually pretty cool. Would you like to know, David? Would you like to know how
Please.
nerdy this works? Because I'll show you how to set all this stuff up.
Did you use ChatGPT to help you out with the
Of
program?
course I did. Of
Yeah, 'cause
course
I've
I
been
did.
using that. I had
Dude.
get this. Sorry, just a quick aside.
No, please do.
I wanted to figure out a way of just like summarizing YouTube videos that I'd done.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I know I said that sometime, but when was it? And all this kind of stuff. And so I'm trying to figure it out. I've got like calls to the API and all this kind of stuff. And then, so I had a YouTube API. Great. But then I was like, then I literally turned to ChatGPT and I went, and I literally said to ChatGPT, can you do this? And it says, yes, here's how. And it I tied into, so it tells me how to sign up its API. It was amazing.
Oh, nice. Very
So
cool.
it
I was like, there's
basically called
plugins
itself.
into ChatGPT that'll do it for you.
Well, it called itself.
Rad.
It showed me how to call itself, and then it analyzed each section of it because it couldn't do the whole thing; it was too big. It would analyze each section for me and spit it out, and I was like, "Okay." And I'm trying the code. It was just freaking amazing. Python.
There's also a tool. Let me see. Do I have it installed right here? Is it Yuzu?
What's going to start being able to do function
Yuzu
calling.
is
The new one's going to do function
emulator.
calling.
Yep.
Apparently.
Switch emulator.
So what was that, David?
Apparently, it's going to start doing function calling. So it's going to just
Already.
tie directly. Is it doing that already?
Yep.
I
don't think it's for all subs yet, or
okay.
GPT Plus subscribers yet. But yeah, they're rolling that out.
I think I'm going to bail on Midjourney, and because I set up my own Stable Diffusion on
local
on Google Colab. No, on
nice.
Google Colab.
Because
nice. I don't have the GPU for that, but it has.
I love Stable Diffusion. I use it for everything.
It has no guardrails, so you sort of got to be careful what you put in. I was like, I want a picture of Angelina Jolie punching Putin in the face. And I'm like, why does Angelina Jolie not wearing any pants? And why has she got legs where she shouldn't have? It's definitely trained on the internet, shall we say.
Yeah.
But man, it's fun having access to the whole thing because I was hitting banned words all the time with Midjourney. All the time, Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I work around all the stuff now with even with ChatGPT. There's still a site that has workarounds like new DANs that come out all the time. I mean, you can't always work around everything. Like tell me how to build a nuclear bomb, right? Like sometimes it gets more difficult to get around those things. But if you're just trying to get it to write edgy content or bad lyrics or say cuss words and stuff, it's really easy to manipulate it into doing that. You can tell they haven't made a huge effort to try to lock that down too much. The other thing is I have a program. I got to find it, of course, because I lost it from GitHub. Is it installed here? Let's see. It's called no, not Snappy. I'll have to find it and give it to you. But I have a Python script on here. Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah.
What is your favorite piece of tech?
What is my favorite piece of tech? They ask. Oh God, why is it not turning off? Guys. What? Oh shit, the fire alarm's gonna go off. Hold on here, I gotta clear out. Let me clear this out, hold up.
He was just saying, it's the first time nothing's going wrong.
Yeah. Uh-oh, stop! Oh my God. Oh God, why is it doing this?
I love this.
Okay, I gotta kill it. Somebody has found a back door. Okay. Check the Twitch stream. Because I'm gonna go ban whoever just did that. No, it's okay to mess around a little, but no, you can't keep pushing it like that because you'll set off my fire alarm and fuck up the whole stream. And if you do that, you just cause me stress. Let's see.
Don't stress him.
Hold on.
Stress him.
Yeah, no, I've been having trouble stress lately, so they know that that's a stress point. Let's see. Hold on. Why is this one stuck on now? Hold on. It might be a problem on my side. Give me a sec.
Are you and you're going to be going full time. Like you're going to start going full time, doing like crazy long streams like every day.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to because I did the math. It's like if I don't, we're done. Like my family doesn't get taken care of.
I don't think that's a bad thing, man. You put on a good show.
Well, no, it's just a bad thing for my health, but it's not a bad thing in that keeping my family alive. You know.
No,
like,
you don't have to do it to your own detriment.
No. Oh God. Woo! Oh, here I gotta turn this back on now. Actually, I don't know if I can turn it back on. I don't know.
I'd leave it.
All right, we get it. You
Hold on.
vape. Lol's nice you see you guys again.
No, I got to figure out where that came from, though, because I got to plug that hole, because if somebody does that while I'm out of the room taking a piss or something, that's going to set off all the fire alarms, and then it's going to cause them to, like, the alarm company's going to call, and it's going to be a big deal.
Oh, is your fire alarm, like, rigged up to, is it like an actual service?
Yeah, like if we turn it off like in quick enough, it's fine. But if we overflood it where we can't get it to turn off, then it just turns into an all deal. We have to give a code over the phone and say our house isn't burning down and stuff. But it's not that big of a deal, but still it's annoying. So I just want to make sure. Actually, you know what? I can just check the event log. Hold on. Why am I doing this here? The action queue shows. Let's see here.
Dun,
so
dun. The smoking gun. Well, the
guess what?
Gun? What?
It was nobody. So that was a malfunction on my side.
Weird bug.
So that's got to be, because I just looked at the action log, which would show if anybody fired an action, it would be in the action history. Yeah. And the last action that was fired was, all right, we get it, you vape, from Matthew Riley. Right. By the way, Matthew, thank you for that $20. That's the biggest one of the stream, dude. Thank you so much.
That's $5 American dollars too.
I know, right?
$100 Canadian.
And then Oliver did $5. He was the one before that, and then the one before that was let's see here, Retro My Bits for the $1. So yeah, no, I don't have any rogue events, so I have no idea what caused that to just keep popping off like that. Here, let's see if it does it when I flip it back on here. Let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Let me check the DMX controller and see if it's cranked up. Here, hold on. So if I push this,
is it possible the actual just like physically got jammed or something? Is it?
Yeah, I think what happened, here, let me see. Is this program 1? Okay, here we go. So that's that. Let me check and see if this is, okay, that's the fan. And then if I push this, I think what happened is the DMX controller software just hung with it stuck on. So now it's off. So if I turn it on, it shouldn't fire now. It probably has to heat up a little bit, because that thing pulls 1500 watts. That is not a cheap piece of equipment to run. Yeah. And it burns through like when we have a really good show, it'll burn through probably about a third of a tank of fog juice.
And
if it's a really good show.
Like is that not?
It's glycol. Same thing that's in a vape. Same thing that's in a vape. It's just glycol.
But you know, if you ever go to laser tag or whatever, same kind of stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't bug me. It really doesn't bug me.
We use it on set all the time. Use it on set all the time. They always say like it's fine, and then everyone wears masks except the actors.
Exactly.
Well, it's the right? It's the difference between you having a shot with the bartender versus the bartender having a shot with everybody who comes to the bar,
that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like how, you know, you get people like, oh, X-rays are totally fine, as the guy goes behind leaded glass.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Well, you're only getting one beam. That guy does this 8 hours a day. You know,
that guy's losing his hair.
Right. Yeah. It's like that kind of thing.
Testing. Has anybody seen a non-Ken in chat today? He sent me a message, a DM on Twitter saying he thinks he's shadow banned on YouTube. So Noenken. Noenken, non-Ken. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why he would be shadow banned. I can check.
I mean, his name's not tagging in the chat.
It's not tagging. Okay.
Watchers like laughing his ass off.
Here we go again. Oh boy.
Man, I'm getting my Muppet workout here.
1, 2, 3.
I normally have this thing set to only go off at $10 and above on the Twitch stream. It's just purely a mistake that I have it set off to go with everything on YouTube. So, but I'm just like rolling with it, whatever. If people want to drown me in fog, let them, right? I mean, hey, it's a living, right? And plus it's fun. People like doing it. The only time I get mad is I've had people before, you know, they want to find a hole in the system, and I do understand that. But I've had people before where it's like they just keep spamming it until the whole room fills. I can't find the switch to turn it off. I start having an anxiety attack and start tripping over shit, and they keep doing it.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And that's not cool. Like when that happens, but it's like if you do it once, if it's just like one time, it's like, I did it. Okay, that was my bad. That's fine. But when it's somebody who just spams it on purpose just to try to like cause as much havoc as possible, then it's like, okay, well, that's your one last chance.
Timeout. Yeah. You need a cooldown. You can only do it once every 5 minutes or something.
Actually, that's a good point. I can do that.
Like, regardless of how much is tipped or whatever the fuck you can.
That's
It can
a
only
good
happen
idea.
every 5 minutes.
That's a good idea. Let me do that right now. Because if I go into if I open up
globally,
actions,
there's
yeah,
a
I can do that.
timer. Yeah.
So if I go into actions, right, and I click on super chat, I should
Thank
be
you
able
for
to
calling
do
Creative Solutions. We solve
Shit.
How can we
problems.
help you?
You can do
Please
a
solve
cool
problems.
no, you can only do a cooldown on
rate my
chat
service.
commands for some reason. You can't do a cooldown on the triggered actions.
No,
Here we go.
Sure you could.
Okay, tell
no,
me where the option is in StreamBot.
No,
I'll go
you
check it
have
out.
to. No.
Yo, Barnacules
That's a
X
lot
and
of-
Davey.
Whatever code you're using that actually like is talking to all of the fun stuff, you do it there.
Oh,
Like
that's going to take a lot of time, but I can do a program. I can do anything
The trigger
programmatically.
comes in, right? The trigger comes in.
Yep.
The event triggers. It checks
Oh,
the
no, I know
time
how to-
from
yeah,
the
I know
last
how.
one.
I know how.
And yeah, that's really easy.
But
But it has, yeah, you're right.
I
It
thought you
wouldn't
knew a way
be-
to do it like
No, it'd
native.
be-
I can go program
it'd be-
anything from scratch.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
in between. It'd be in between the event
Yep.
handler, I guess, whatever the donation happening,
Correct.
and then the fun stuff triggering.
Yeah, so what I would have to what you're
would be easy
suggesting,
enough.
what I would have to do is I'd have to create a Python script that then creates a database in MicroSQL, or it would have to have a standalone file that would store the individual names of the initiator and then start a capture the time at which they fired the event, compare the current time to the time they last fired the event. If it's outside of the threshold, then allow the event to fire again. So I'd maintain an external database for everybody, which would be quite a bit of work.
You'd
I
only
could do it.
You'd only ever have to store the last triggered event, the time of the last triggered event. You don't need. It doesn't matter who did it or where it's coming from. You just whenever.
Oh, no, I don't want
somebody
to.
donates.
Okay,
You save
no.
the time that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I don't want to
and
do
the
that.
next one happens. Yeah.
No, the reason, and I'll tell you why. Because that is so unfair if somebody fires the event when somebody has one in the queue and then they miss out on their opportunity to have their thing read. I just don't want the same person to be able to activate it 5 times in a row.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I would implement.
Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Say
then-
Nerdgasm. Nerdgasm. Thank you, Histario.
Say Nerdgasm. Open
Nerdgasm.
mouth smile.
I would do it so that like the fun stuff can only happen once every few minutes or whatever. But like you could still have other things happen, like TTS. You
Yeah.
know, if you wanted a robot to read out the message, that
Yep.
can happen every single time. But the light show can only happen every so often, regardless, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do
Or the
cooldowns.
fog.
Yeah,
Or the fog.
or something.
And to be fair, I do have cooldowns for the commands. For some reason, StreamerBot, the software, and I'll ask for a feature because they do have a GitHub repository, I believe. They do allow you to do global cooldown on all the actions. So like where you type in the chat, like if I type in the chat LED,
bang, whatever.
yeah, and
or-
I do like, and let's say I draw like a wiener on the LED or whatever, right? I can do this. And let's see, is it working? Do LED. Oh, I think I got to do all the things. I got to do like bang, LED, and then 8 == D, and then I got to do a color like 00 FF 00, which is green, and then the first line. And then I think that there it goes. You can see that. So now I've got the
there it is,
top
orange.
Yep.
It's true. I can see your boner.
with the hex code on the end. That's funny.
Why is it orange?
Well, it's added something to your.
Because
mind-
wait,
you
red.
in parentheses?
That should have been. That
Commas?
should, yeah, maybe I need parentheses. Let me try this. I don't know why there's no spaces in it. But let me try this. Because it should be green actually. Here, I'll do that for. Is that green now? No. Huh. Okay, so I got a bug in that one too. Yeah, because that command should actually be making it green, unless. Oh, unless do I even take the color? Maybe it's just a one command thing. Let's see. I did 4, right? Now let me do like 5 and see if it works. Let me do a whole bunch. Let's see if it changes. If there's more than 5, then I know that's the problem. Yep, that's what it is. Yeah, no, the LED command doesn't take color. It just all it takes is whatever. And I think I did that because people were trying to hack it and like do encode injection. Which actually did work, by the way. They did successfully do it. It took 2 days after I implemented the feature, but they did figure out how to get the script to basically run itself again, or to run another script that was in the folder, because I leaked what the name was of the script that I was calling. So they could basically do it in a way where it'd be LED, what they wanted to put in there, then an end quote, then a pipe, and so which would mean, run another command, or and then run, because it's all run through a command line. And then they did the and, run another command, and then it would run the other command with the arguments that they passed in. They could actually trigger any event they wanted if they knew the name of the script. So it was actually
Someone
really
figured
clever.
that out?
Yeah, somebody figured it out. Didn't take them
wow.
very long at all either. It was like lickety split, man. So I got to figure out why they only allow cooldown on actions. Like right there, that thing I did with the LED. If I want, I can go in there and I can set a cooldown per user, and I can set a user cooldown. A user cooldown and a global cooldown. Which global is it can only happen once every 15 seconds, and user cooldown is it can happen every 15 seconds for just a single user. But what I could do is I could say the global cooldown is like 5 seconds. Right. But then the user cooldown is 60 seconds, which means a user can only use that command every 60 seconds. But globally, each person can do it every 5 seconds. Does that make sense? So like if I do it, then I can't do it again for 60. But then if somebody else wants to do it right after me, they just have to wait 5 seconds. There we go. Another one. Yeah. Oh, damn. We got 2 in a row.
I think the Submarine guys are awesome. Everyone is criticizing the man in the arena actually trying cool science stuff while everyone stares at their phones.
Martin. And £10. That's serious coin. That's sterling.
Yeah, so Jogel had a criticism, and fair point. Hey, he gave us $20, so I'm gonna call it out. He said, I think the Submarine guy is awesome. Everybody is criticizing the man in the arena trying to do cool science while everybody else stares at the phones. Here's the thing, okay? I'm not saying he didn't do cool science. What he did though is he lied to people and put them in harm's way. That's what everybody's laughing at. Like if he just killed himself, if he just got in a sub, went down and killed himself, this would be a non-issue. The reason that this is blowing up all over the place is because he basically lied to 4 people and said that his tube was engineered and signed off by University of Washington, Boeing, NASA.
It was a business venture.
Yeah.
I think it's not so much.
He lied.
It's not.
He lied.
It's different. Look, it's different. It's different trying cool science stuff.
Yeah.
When you go about it in a way that is appropriately like safe. Really, I'm trying to think of a better word. Like Elon Musk isn't just throwing people into the end of his rockets and shooting them up into space and hoping for the best, right? Like even as willy-nilly as he may be with some of his stuff, like he understands that there's like safety involved and
how screwed he is if he doesn't.
Right, and so I think that's where a lot of the criticism is coming from. Is that people did try and tell this guy that this wasn't the right way to go about it. Yeah, that like. This is even mildly unsafe, and they were very flippant, or the guy's on record like in interviews being like, at some point safety is just a waste.
To his credit, it's though, that kind of stuff. He was on the sub. I mean, and that's like he doesn't. He's buying his own shit. I mean, like
that goes a long way. Like he obviously believed that it was safe enough.
Yeah.
And turned out not. But then as people are digging into this, it shows a history of disregard of experts, people who know what they're doing. He literally said, I don't want to hire 50-year-old experts because it's not inspirational. Like, dude, you're going 2 miles under the water. Like, that's not a place for inspirational. That's a place for science and expertise.
Well, and again, if he wasn't charging for it, it would be a whole different thing. If these were people who signed a waiver, they were, these were people going where no man's gone before and, trying to make this a commercial venture and willing to do these
part
things.
Of it, right? That's part of it too, is like, this is something we've done before. There are established methods and like
certifiable
engineering
methods.
And stuff.
And how many people have gone on this trip before? There were a number of people, right?
Tons.
Weren't there a number of people?
And so that's where it kind of swings back a little bit the other way. There wasn't really a lot to say, hey, this time it's not going to work, because there've been a few times there've been obviously a good number of times where they've done this a bunch of times.
They canceled the 3 previous expeditions to this one, like the ones on the same trip where they took it out there. They canceled 3 because they said that one of the control systems on the side wasn't responding, like the thrusters weren't responding. And they said they didn't know what the issue was. They were going to try swapping the pods around and figure out if they get it to work, but they said it was an intermittent problem, that it would just happen. They said they didn't feel safe diving like that, which is good, right? And it turns out that the guys that were supposed to go down right before it blew up or imploded were actually YouTubers that were vlogging, and they just put up their video today. I just watched it this morning. So there was vloggers that were on the ship. They were supposed to go down, and they got canceled because they couldn't figure out how to solve this problem. In the last expedition, they just said, fuck it, and went. And this is the one where it implodes. So
no way.
That's why there's
shit you not. Shit you not.
Because like I'm no engineer. I wouldn't if I had the money and I was jumping into this thing, I wouldn't know what to look for or be like, oh, that's weird and sketchy. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Like there's a lot of evidence to support like, hey, this is gonna work out and it's fine because obviously they've been doing this a few times. And the boss man is jumping in with us. Like that's huge.
That's pretty good credibility right there.
And so yeah, I don't know. It is definitely more like hindsight kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But there is also now coming out that there are plenty of times where they warned this guy that, hey, this isn't the right way to do it.
I agree, Jim Levo. Yeah, no.
You know?
Here's the thing: is he picked he was very jovial in his hoity-toity, haha, carbon fiber is the most amazing material. Everybody should be using it. There's a reason why. There is a very specific reason, and this reason was even told to him by everybody. The reason you don't use carbon fiber in a positive pressure environment like in the ocean is because carbon fiber, as it flexes, will start to delaminate the fibers. And when the fibers delaminate, it loses its strength. And it doesn't just bend. It doesn't just deform. It shatters. It's not like...
It's super brittle. You ever see carbon fiber like snap, break?
Yeah, dude,
like
it shatters. It's like, it's like glass,
it's like fiberglass. It's
everywhere.
Could, like,
So
all kinds
it's
of
not
weird
that it's
little...
not strong enough. It's that it's not... It needs to have some kind of a different system for reuse. Is that the sense?
Each time you stress it, same thing with airliners. Airliners have carbon fiber wings now, like the new 737 MAX, carbon fiber wings. But still, throughout the life of the airplane, as those wings flex up and down and everything, they do start to wear, and they have to X-ray them. He wasn't X-raying his sub. Like he was, and that's the only way you can do it. Like they said that you'd have to do an X-ray over every square inch of the hull to see what the density like of the material was and see if it was breaking down, because all it has to do is break down in one tiny little area. Just an itty bitty little 1 inch square is enough for it to ingress, where I can start pushing that in and then just start fracturing across that until it collapses.
No, it makes total sense. It's weird though, as you say. I understand this guy's point. I'm not sure who it was who said it, but so I understand that point of like, yeah, you have to take risks. I totally buy that. Some people are willing to take risks. People are willing to jab themselves with things to see if this works as a treatment. All this, I totally buy that. But then you're taking the risk. But as soon as you start taking money in a tourist venture like that, I think you're implying a safety that if you don't have the system to back it up, which you obviously didn't, then I can only imagine what the lawsuits are going to be like on this.
Oh man, it's going to be insane.
And to be fair, I have no problem. Just like with experimental aircrafts, if you sign a form saying, "Okay, I understand the dangers, and I'm willing to take those dangers," that's one thing. But he even lied about that, because he told these people, and it's on video. He told these people that he consulted with Boeing, NASA, and the University of Washington, and they all signed off on his design for this carbon fiber vessel. So when they were taking the chance, they were under the impression that a lot of smart people signed off on this, when it turns out that was all bullshit. And when they were all asked for comment after this happened, they said, we never even heard of this fucking guy. He's never consulted us on nothing. Boeing was like, we would have straight up told this guy that he's fucking crazy if he was going to use carbon fiber in a positive pressure environment like that. So he basically was just going around and telling people this. And then there's another video that surfaces of him saying, yeah, I've had to break some rules and I've had to tell some lies to get this done, but sometimes, to make breakthroughs, you gotta just, you gotta bend the rules and you gotta break the rules. And when he's like joking around with the guy about like, oh, a carbon fiber hull, yeah, nobody would do that because you can't even get it certified, and there's a reason you can't get it certified, because there's no way to tell. Because the thing is with titanium, if you're talking about like the Challenger Deep, right, the titanium vessel that James Cameron went down in, it's a continuous material, right? It's a liquid material that once it solidifies, it is solid all the way through. There's no air bubbles, there's no permutations. Once you X-ray it and you're done, it stays that way. Like you going down, coming up, as long as you don't overflex it past its plastic deformation or whatever, it'll be fine. You can run it a million times, right? It's not going to corrode on you. It's titanium. The problem with carbon fiber is every single time you flex that carbon fiber, it's weakening. And that doesn't happen with conventional subs. Subs that are made out of steel, even acrylic subs, the acrylic has to be really thick, but the acrylic subs even don't fail from deformation of the material. Like UV can break down the material, but you don't get a lot of UV under the water, right? So those even hold up really, really well of repeat use over and over and over again. There's a whole reason why they don't use carbon. Whoa! Man.
I don't disagree, but those billionaires surely knew the possibility of outcome.
Oh.
The worst case scenario
I got
is that
3
it
minutes.
didn't
Gotta
implode.
run. I gotta run.
Oh, no worries, man.
I don't disagree, but those billionaires surely knew the possibility of outcome. The worst case scenario is that it didn't implode. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sure there was a certain level of consent and whatnot. Because I mean, fuck, you get on a roller coaster and there's a certain level of like implied danger and whatnot, and you're taking some responsibility for that. But and this is for the courts to decide, because we as people, us in particular, don't have all of the information. There comes a line where you are misrepresenting the risk.
Yeah, and that's what I believe happened. Me personally,
they weren't as informed as they should have been. And that's what's going to come out later, because there's totally going to be wrongful death suits. There's totally going to be an investigation into how this happened, why this happened, who said what to who. They're gonna have to. There's just no way not to investigate.
Sub wasn't up to standard. I can't imagine that his paperwork on stopping the company from being sued is either. I mean, like, he probably cheaped out on the lawyer as well. I mean, like.
No, this is gonna be a long time coming. And plus, one of the guys that went down, right, he took a son with him. So I mean, that's probably gonna that's gonna increase.
Apparently, he didn't want to go. His son didn't want to go, but he wanted to. It was for Father's Day.
Jesus, man, like this is not gonna be good. But here's the thing:
at least they didn't suffer. Like, I thought they were under there. We all thought they were under there running out of air. And that's freaking awful. Horror movie. That's a horror show.
The thing that scares me, though, David, is yes, the death would have been instantaneous. The second that pressure breached in that hole, they were already unconscious. Even before the walls could even crush into them, which would have been nanoseconds, right? They're already unconscious. Just that pressure hitting your inner ear and it'd render you unconscious instantly, the compression. So they didn't feel a thing. But the thing that's kind of scary is they said that the evidence so far is showing that they dropped their ballast weights, which means they were going for a rapid ascent, which means they knew the only reason that they would do that is if they knew that a catastrophic failure was about to happen. So my guess is they were all screaming bloody murder, waiting for that implosion. Like they knew it was coming, because they dropped the weights and they were heading like a bat out of hell towards the surface as fast as the thing could go up. And then it imploded. So my guess is it wasn't like they were just like descending and it was like, okay, boom, lights out. They didn't even see it coming. It was probably more they were screaming bloody murder. Yeah.
And that's my version better.
But did they feel pain? No. They didn't feel any pain, because anything that would have breached the or compromised the seal would have been sufficient to knock them all out instantly. So
it's not the pain. It's not the pain that gives me nightmares. It's that fear of knowing. The fear of knowing, and of course, with a son, and you know this.
Oh yeah,
we all know this. The idea of like having to face your child and go, "Fuck, I brought my child." I just.
Oh, I know exactly as a father what he was saying through that whole ascent. If that ascent lasted 2 seconds, I guarantee I know what words came out of his mouth looking at his son.
Tears my fucking heart out. Like I can't even imagine. And it happened times 500 on a vessel going to Greece. I that's all. I just throw that.
And nothing recoverable. No chance of recovering any bodies, because they're just meat. Like there's no, like, all the bones are crushed to like dust basically. So you're not going to be able to identify any of it. I mean, you might be able to get some DNA if you're lucky, but you're not going to be able to recover anything that's identifiable.
Well, that's what they're doing with that Greek. That Greek tragedy was that they're saying that Greek tragedy, it sounds like, but they're saying that they won't let anyone identify bodies. They're only going with DNA because they don't want them to see the bodies.
Yeah, even if they could recover one, it'd be you would not want anybody to see that. That's just terrible. All right, well, you get out of here, man.
Yeah, I gotta run. Sorry, guys.
And thanks for stopping by, dude. That was super rad.
Yeah, I just wanted to I got out.
Dude, I was so happy to see you just show up. I was like, what the hell's this sound? At first, I thought like a fan figured out how to like get in the back door or something like that. I was like,
I'm a big fan of your work, Barnacules.
It's okay. You're a fan. I don't mind.
I know where you live, and I'm gonna make it foggy.
You're one of the few people that could show up on my porch and not get shot here in the United States. So, David, take that as a huge compliment.
No matter how sweaty and gross I look. Thank you, everyone.
Tell Baz congratulations on the soccer season.
I shall, and buy some barnacle bits or whatever you're calling them.
Yeah, one of these days I'll make a coin and you can buy it. Hey, you sold a coin on the show today, man. That's good marketing right there.
I know, and they're not. I'm afraid they're not cheap. So
how much are they? Come on, let's hear it. How much are they?
50.
$50.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
There's only a bunch of them, and it's kind of to help out the Tech Bandit stuff. So
well, to be fair, I was never in like any like TV series, and I sold mine for 35, so so don't feel so bad.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I got 35 for the metal ones, and for the plastic ones, I think it was like 20 or something like that.
Well, I like if I go to a convention, people are paying freaking $40 for.
I mean, they're not paying it like, oh man, that's a little too expensive for a coin. They're doing it because they want to support you because they want a piece of memorabilia. So you got to look at it from that price point.
That's what Gimpy G said, because I was like getting all like, I don't know, like maybe I should just like, and anyway. So yeah. So thank you. All right, get out of here, lads. I'm out of here. I mean, no, you stay. I'm out of here. All right. I can't stay longer. I got to go.
No, we're thrilled to see. Like, you changed the whole show today, man. You showing up and cheered everything up. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys were miserable.
We were too, man. Like before you came, like we were about ready to break. Yeah, we were going to dissolve the show and everything. Like we were just getting ready to have the talk. We were going to be like, we got to shut it down, man. And then you showed up and everything's good again.
It was the pressure. It was the pressure coming in, closing in on you. Yeah. All right. All the best. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. All right, take it easy, boss.
See you next week. Next week. I'll see you next week.
Watch, I can make you disappear before you disappear. Look at that. Look, he's back. Oh, and he's gone. And he's back. Oh, he's gone. Can you find the button yet? Nope. Okay, let's see. How about now? Nope. He's still trying. Okay, let's try it again. Is he still there? Let's see. Is he there? Oh, he's gone. He did it. He found the button. Woo! Actually, that worked out pretty good because I had your window like right behind his. I didn't shrink it too far. So now all I got to do is just grab you and go, and you're back. That's it. Dude, that was so cool that he showed up, man. That's awesome. Right. That's so awesome, man. Man, I missed my Hewlett, man. I missed getting my fix. I think it's so awesome that we get to hang out with Mr. Stargate himself. That is just the coolest shit ever, man. It's like the things that have come true in my life, my health aside and my empire falling apart and everything, all that shit aside, I get to do some pretty cool shit, and I'm pretty happy with that, because it's like, dude, never in my life did I think I would have a gigabit fiber internet connection. Never in my life did I think I'd be like hanging out with all the people that I watched on TV growing up. You know what I mean? It's like even Trinity. I think that's so great. I get to talk to Trinity. Like, I watched Trailer Park Boys all the way since she was like 7 years old when she started on that show. I watched it all the way back then. And now she's freaking an adult and has like all her own things going on and everything. And I've been on like her game show and hosted her game show for her and stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. It's cool knowing these people because it's like, it's just different. There's something different from our generation. We differentiate between TV and YouTube. Like, YouTube is still celebrity, but TV is like ultra celebrity from our generation. Now that's merged. Like, you ask a kid today, they're like, well, everybody's a celebrity, right? But for us, it's like back then, it's like watching Stargate. It's like, that's a huge production with people on set and costumes and CGI and the whole works, right? Major production. That's not, but now kids these days, they're like, there's no difference between that and like somebody vlogging in New York, like tricking people on the street or setting up a fake prank or doing a TikTok. It's all the same. But for me, it's like, I fangirl like crazy. I still do, man. I still do. People have asked me that before too, and I just want to make it absolutely clear. Yes, I hold my composure together, but you bet your ass, if I saw David Hewlett in real life or whatever, man, I'd run right up to him, man. I'd be tickled pink. So like, rad. Even after doing all these tech talks with him and everything, I'd just be like, oh my God. I'd make such a big deal out of it. And you know what? I bet you he'd love every minute of it. Yeah. Because I know I do. I really do enjoy it when some people still recognize me in public. It's amazing.
It's been cool the couple times that it's happened to me even. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, people asked about you when the Puget stream went away. Like when you're doing the Puget stream. My God, I've never had more people message me in my entire life asking, hey, when's that coming back? When are you doing another thing? Hey, when are you doing another computer? But hey, where's Beardosaur? What's going on with that? And I even talked to you and I talked to John about that, right? And we all know where that all ended up. But just to let you know, it wasn't about like just Puget Systems. Like, you as a personality, and the Dr. Professor Beardosaur, you had an impact on people, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people wanted to see you, like, whether it was there or whether it was on your own stream or you building your own computers doing it, there's such a demand for you and for that character. And it's not even a character. It's just you in a lab jacket, right? I mean,
pretty much, yeah.
You're not acting. That's just you, dude. It's like you put on a lab jacket, you're the same dude. And people loved it so much. And I've like, out of everybody I've ever done something with, I've never had more people request, like actually reach out to me to try to get to you. And I thought that was pretty cool. So take that how you will.
I'll stream my drive into work and stuff, and like 13 to 15 people. I don't even put it on Twitter or anything. I just will like go live as I'm leaving the neighborhood. And like 10, 15 people will just show up every time. It's super rad.
Dude, that's rad. So Bradley Smith said, DM me. I have a program where you can sell merch with little to no upfront cost. Yes, it's a % per item, but if the item does not sell, then you do not lose. I mean, that isn't that pretty much every program?
Like a pre-order kind of thing, right? Like
yeah, like I know Amazon does that with their Amazon store thing. Then they got Teespring.
You got to reach a certain amount of like pre-orders before they'll do a run. Yeah, I've seen a few things like that where.
Well, Amazon will do it as one product. Like Amazon will print one product order.
Like Gamers Nexus has done stuff like that. I think for like their coasters and whatnot. It's like we want to do this. We have a prototype. We like it's super rad. We want to do it, but we need a certain level of guarantee first because they need. Heck, I think even Linus did it with the screwdriver thing. Like they have
going
a MOQ,
direct to
right?
China,
a minimum order quantity, right? You have to buy 1,000 widgets before they'll even start stamping them. And so, you do a pre-order kind of a thing, a pre-sign-up deal, and then that's cool.
This is Bradley running the program. So Bradley does his own thing. Yeah, I'll check it out, bro. I'll check it out. Yeah, hell yeah. Sounds like you're doing something similar to like what Merch Minion was doing, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the 3 people I did was my very first merch store I ever had was Vermont Green Printing. They were very expensive though. It was really high quality though. Like you were paying for the quality, right? And but because they were doing silk screening, multicolor silk screening, which is kind of like the gold standard for quality, right? Yeah. And they used an ink that was water based, not that plastisol, so it didn't like rub your sandpaper your nipples off. And so to make a shirt ended up costing me like somewhere in the order of $12 to $15 per shirt, just because of but it'd go down the more I bought. If I bought 50 of them or 100 of them, then it would go down in order of magnitude. So, but I could never afford to, buy more than like 100 of them because I didn't sell them very fast. Even at my prime, I was maybe selling like 20 shirts a month. It wasn't a lot. And so when I did Vermont Green Printing, it's like I just had so much inventory. I had like $10,000 or $20,000 of inventory just sitting on shelves waiting for it to go out so I can get my money back. And so I barely broke even on that whole thing. And so then Merch Minion came along and they're like, well, we can print to order and we can ship the thing directly to, and we can do it for like, I think when they started, it was like $6 a shirt, like all in printing materials. But then COVID basically struck and the cost of ink went up and they couldn't get available stock of shirts. And it basically just doomed them. But, it got to the point where it was like $12 a shirt, my cost per shirt. And then once you factor in like what they have to make for their profit and what I have to make for my profit, it just didn't make sense. It was just, we were just going backwards. And so when they went out of business, I was like, I'm not going to do another merch store unless I'm in a position to like where I know there's going to be a lot of orders because I'm doing a lot of stuff. Right. It's like, because a merch store is a very lucrative thing. Like it's a great thing to do if you're making a lot of content and you're really putting yourself out there. But I have to make sure that I can maintain that cadence and I'm comfortable in that cadence before I do something like that. Otherwise, it's just another stressor, right? Yeah. It's another thing that I'm throwing money into that I don't have, that it has to succeed, because if it doesn't succeed. Now, something like what Bradley's talking about, where it's like you're printing to order and you're basically just sending, it's just basically profit sending somebody something. That something like that could work, right? Because then there's no out of pocket expense for me. Except for maybe tooling or whatever to do whatever I'm doing. Or maybe I just, the cost to ship him the things to then sell. Something like that would work out fine, because then if you only sell a couple units here and there, it's like no big deal, and you're not, having to put a bunch of upfront capital. But the way it works in business is generally it's going to be the more you're willing to put up in the front, the more you're going to save on the back end. So like with screen printing, right? If you're willing to print 1,000 shirts, right? Then you're probably going to pay like $2 a shirt. And then you can sell that shirt for 20 some bucks, and that's that much more margin per shirt. But you have to be sure that you can move those shirts, because if you don't move those shirts, now they're basically worth nothing at a certain point. And like, think about that. Just like one little scandal. You've seen what it takes to destroy a YouTuber. Like we've all seen it, right? It's like one little false scandal. Like it doesn't even have to be true. It could just be something where it's like a rumor goes around, all the drama tubers pick it up, you're completely destroyed, your family's threatened, your life is threatened. I mean, I've been through it a couple of times myself. And it's like you're just basically game over, and you're like, well, shit, I just bought $50,000 worth of inventory with my last money that I had, and you can't sell it. You basically, and then you have to pay to store it, because you're like, I don't have room at my house to store 50,000 shirts. So now you're paying a storage fee on something you physically can't sell. And then even if you make a comeback at some point, nobody's going to want to buy like the old shirt from back in the day when that all went down. So you're kind of screwed at that point. And it's like, so that's why I don't like holding on to inventory like that. But if you're a huge person, like say Mr. Beast or Whistle and Diesel, then it makes sense to just, because like Whistle and Diesel, like how are you going to cancel that guy, right? His entire content is based on being canceled. Like he wants to be canceled because that's fuel for his fire, and he figured out a way to turn that into money. You know, it's like where something that would cancel me, that would just make him sell more shirts, right?
Right.
And do you watch Whistling Diesel at all?
Nope.
He's a character because one, I don't understand how he can afford to make the videos that he makes. There's got to be a billionaire backer somewhere that's just funding this just for the lulz, because the numbers do not add up to me. The sponsorships that he gets and the viewership that he gets does not equal the amount of money he's putting out making these videos. I mean, the dude is literally buying like $1 million helicopter and just crashing it in the first like 5 minutes of the video and then slamming in a bunch of priceless vehicles into it. And or buying a $20,000 or $50,000 surplus tank and just running over a bunch of really expensive shit with it, or like buying a Ferrari for like $350,000 cash and then just like destroying it in 3 videos. I just don't see how his sponsorships with like is that your side or my side? Oh, that was his side. I just don't see how he could be making enough money, like just selling merch and stuff to cover that. But if he is, I mean, that's fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. But it's just, God, it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Everything good on your side?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was just checking. You went silent there for a second. I'm guessing you muted the mic.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
okay.
My lady's just heading out. She's telling me.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see here. What is that? Bradley said, kinda, but I actually produce and link up with quality vendors. This is me running the program. Oh, so you're doing like a middleman thing, like where you're finding like the cheapest vendors and the cheapest this and everything and putting together packages and then just taking a cut to do all the logistics between the different companies, manufacturing the products, logistics, shipping, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what Merch Mania did.
Afterward, like see how this all works out.
I'm gonna hit him up. He's on Patreon. I'll do it for sure because I want to hit him up. Bradley, he's been around forever. I've seen Bradley Smithley. He's been in the chat for years and years and years. Colin B said Trinity is amazing. She absolutely is. I like Gina. She's amazing. She's always traveling though, man. That girl, boy, she gets around. Also, Jim the Evo said, I just saw that earlier. He said, are you going to LTX? Yeah, I'm going to be at LTX. Are you going to be there, Jim?
I don't think so. Oh, I was like, I don't think so.
No, Jim the Evo. I know you're probably not going.
I think I have work stuff at that same thing or something. There's something.
It would be cool to see you up there. It would be cool to see you up there. Even if you just drove up for the day, it would just be cool to see you. But I understand why you wouldn't go. Oh, hey, did you see my cool Father's Day gift? My screwdriver I got?
Yes,
dude. You saw that?
Very cool. Yes.
Isn't that just the coolest shit you've ever seen in your life?
Oh my god! No, I didn't see that.
No, check this out, bro. Okay, so I've got so here I finally got a comparison you'll probably like. So here you go, Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. I know how you feel about this.
Huh.
So I mean, it's a good screwdriver.
Screwdriver seems fine enough.
First of all, it's a good screwdriver. It's an overpriced screwdriver, but again, you're paying for the name, right? I mean, if you buy merch, you're not looking for a deal. If you want the cheap thing, go to Harbor Freight. If you want the merch to support somebody, you buy the good quality product made by him. I mean, if it wasn't branded Linus, the same screwdriver, if it existed, which I'm sure it does somewhere in some form, it's probably going to cost you $20 less, right? So, but really good screwdriver, really good feel. I love this thing. I use it all the time. But the problem is my hands have been swollen really bad lately because I'm taking allopurinol for gout. Okay. And it's and for some reason, it's helping with some things, but it's making other things worse. Like it's made my hands like so swollen. Like today I can close my hand. This one I can't close all the way. Like I can still just like, if I squeeze as hard as I can just get my finger in there just like that. This one though, I can do no problem. But for some reason, the thrombosis arm, I can't get a good grip. So this thing is awesome because what this is a gyro-based screwdriver.
Oh yeah. You just rotate the thing. Yeah,
dude, it's so cool. Neat, man. Like you need one of these for if you're building systems. You need one of these because you basically just put it whatever angle. Doesn't matter. It can be any angle, up, down. You just put it there and then you hold down the thing, and then it just buzzes and it turns on the light on the front, right? And then you just turn it. You just check this out, guys. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Watch this. So you just turn it a little bit. See how it's turning? Just a little.
Yeah.
And then you turn faster and faster and faster, and it goes really, really fast, and then stop, and then go the other direction.
That's pretty cool.
So you get, and then if you stop pushing it, you can re-angle it however you want, and then when you pull the trigger, that's what locks it to that orientation.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's so really
like
powerful.
Only out, only in. Very cool.
Yep. And then you just do this. If you want a pistol grip style, you just do that number, and that's it. You just, so if you're taking out screws, it's just like twist, let go, twist, let go, twist, let go, and you're just popping them all out. And it's a very light trigger too. It's like, and if you've ever used like drills, it's really hard to get the trigger pressure on a drill just right.
Yeah, because it's like meant
to
be just on off. You're not supposed to do little. Yeah,
exactly. With this, it's like you feel the torque translate through it as it's turning, so it kind of has this natural braking force. Like you can feel when the screw's about to go, right? Like you start easy, and then you feel the pressure building, and then you turn a little bit more, and it pops loose. Or you set the clutch, and it's got a really light clutch. Like I can just grab the tip. Let's see if I mean, I'm holding it just with my fingers, right? So you don't have to worry about like stripping out motherboard screws and things that are going into wood. But I'm like, damn, this thing's awesome. And the battery seems to last forever. And it came with 2 batteries. But yeah, my wife got this for Father's Day. Nice. And it just takes these itty bitty little batteries. And I was like, man, I love this thing. It is just a fantastic little screwdriver. And I used it to take apart a joystick on stream the other day. And I was like, I couldn't have been happier, dude. I freaking love it. Can't recommend it enough. If you guys are looking for a screwdriver that's easy to use, if you have problems with your hands and dexterity and your fingers and stuff, that is the one to get. But I will say that this one is also really nice because I like the knurl. You can just choke up on the knurling and just do this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice, like when you're getting in there. And the other thing is they did a really good job picking the bits, like all the bits in the carousel.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, like it's got everything you could think of for like computer stuff. Even like these itty bitty little ones that you see every once in a while. These little hexagonal little guys.
Those like case screws sometimes. Yeah.
Yep. It's got a big magnet. So if you want to put a bigger magnet in it for like picking up stuff, it's got a really strong magnet. Maybe if I picked up something,
I don't steal stuff around.
Like, I mean, look, it's a decent magnet. Pick up a whole bunch of screws at once. And, but I just love it because every time I'm taking shit apart, I look in here and I find a bit that works. Like, I haven't had to go to any external bits for anything yet. Like, I've found everything. So I guess when they were figuring out how to do this, they must have went through like every computer electronic and been like, what is the top like 12 things that everything uses? Like this guy right here, we were taking this apart the other day, right? It's like, oh, what are these little hexagonal guys up here on top? Why did they use those instead of regular screws? You just go around a little carousel here, and it rotates too. Like, I mean, it's got some gimmicky stuff. Like, you can rotate that if you want, so you don't have to rotate the whole screwdriver. You can do this, and you can also rotate the 2 rows independently, like that, and just knock everything out.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I like it. I think it's worth it. Hobbs got this for me as a birthday present. Thank you, Hobbs. But I'm gonna see if I actually have the right one for this. I bet you I do. Let's see. That's a little too big. So I want to see if I can find the right bit. Yep, and there it is right there. So actually, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna put it on this thing. It's also got a little ejector collar on it. When you just pull the collar forward, it shoots out like a little Nerf dart.
Very nice.
It's kind of cool. So yeah, now I should be able to just take all these little guys out of the top. So stick it in the hole, ladies. Oh, I have the clutch set like crazy. There, little more clutch. There we go. Get it in the hole. Ooh, did I just round that off? Uh-oh.
Maybe a little.
Uh-oh. I think I just rounded her.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Is that coming?
It's breaking things.
Uh-oh. I think I'm rounding them off. I think it's the wrong side.
Better stop that before you can't get it out. Yeah,
that would have been bad. I'm going to embarrass myself on camera here. That was supposed to go smoother. But anyways, you get the gist of it. I just realized that those have Loctite red on the underside of the bolts. I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to break those free real easy. You can see this big goober of Loctite red. Oh, shit, here we go. Yeah!
Can you recommend a beefy Wi-Fi router that just works and doesn't spy on you? I was thinking an Asus and one
Can you recommend
Merlin
a beefy Wi-Fi router that just works
or
and doesn't
less.
spy on you? I was thinking an Asus and run Merlin on it, 300 or less. Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. I've been trying to figure out how I could get you to hear. Like, you can't hear the sound effects on stream.
Oh,
like,
no, I hear it. It's all, I hear it's like NES stuff. I hear a punch sound and a.
Oh, could you hear the text to speech?
No, not the text to speech.
See, you didn't hear the text to speech, but you heard everything else, right?
Yeah, I hear the that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys on stream hear the text to speech? Because I'm trying to figure out how the hell it is you can hear those other sound effects, but you can't hear the text to speech when they're all supposedly going through the same audio source. So if somebody here knows,
maybe the text to speech isn't happening.
So input type, internal
yes, I hear the
or
TTS.
source.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So they're
So they
the
hear
words.
it. Yeah, but you don't. So what I'm wondering is because you're watching the stream on Video Ninja, right?
Right.
And
Otherwise, I get speech jammed. I can't have the audio from the actual stream going.
That'll mess you up. No, I have the same problem, man. Same problem. Even when I just tried to do a local voice with like 100 milliseconds lag, it fucks me up.
It's whack. Yeah.
So right now I'm sending you, I believe, the full audio stack mixed together, and that's why I don't understand why you don't hear those sounds. So you hear this. So do you hear it even when I'm waving the mic, like here?
Yes.
And you hear it like full volume, right? Like really loud. Okay, good. So you're not picking up off the headphones. So the text to speech, I think, comes through the same channel. Let me test that. I want to see if it does. So if I go to decode, go to decode, and then go to the Python, and then do, what is it, like say or speak something? Speak to, let's see if you hear this.
Fuck.
You didn't hear that?
Nothing.
What in the hell? This is so weird. But you hear this?
Yes.
Why are you just getting microphone, but you're not getting desktop audio? That is weird. So that's the problem, is you're hearing my mic. So my mic is going to VDO, but not system sounds. But what I don't understand is that I'm outputting a virtual webcam, which should be the combined audio. And so that's bizarre. That's really bizarre. I wonder if there's just something I got to click to change that. Let me look at my settings here for...
Probably something in video.
I bet you it's a video thing. Yeah, because, oh, by the way, you still have your screen capture thing up. I don't know if you noticed that or not. That one that's like the gradient. Like, remember earlier when you did the gradient thing in Video Ninja where it showed your desktop and it was like a gradient? Like, it was like zooming
it was like
in.
weird Inception shit? No,
Yeah, it's still there.
I stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah, it's like, it's still here. It's just grayed out, but it still shows the whole thing. It's very weird. Okay, so here it is. So OBS virtual camera. No, that's you doing that. Okay, so if I look at mine, record, mute and scene, highlight. What happens if I click highlight on that? Did that change anything? Nope, same. Okay, so, and then I copy that stream. I'm trying to figure out why you only hear my mic. Let's see. Oh, wait. What if I do? So I got, okay, audio, gain control, echo cancellation, noise suppression, master gain 100, and then I can click on user. That's for drawing on stuff. And then I got video, which is all cranked up. Do you guys know in chat, like, hey, does anybody here in chat know why the virtual camera, because I'm using the virtual camera to send to Video Ninja, but it's only sending my microphone audio along with the whole composited scene. Why isn't it sending the whole audio stack? Does anybody know? Because that's a little bizarre. Because if I can figure that out, I think wait, can I do that? Can I have the audio come back through the microphone? I might be able to do that. Hold on here. Let me click audio on desktop. If I go to filters and I add a new filter, and that new filter is audio monitor. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Did you guys hear that?
Nope. I didn't.
It was like, if you guys heard that on stream, I apologize.
RIP headphone users.
Yeah, that probably got him. So I was going to try to say loop the desktop audio back to the microphone. So voice mod, audio device. Let me see if this does it. Check.
Yeah, they heard the glitch. Everybody's they're bleeding now.
Check. check.
I still hear you.
Okay, they can hear me now. Do you hear any echo or anything?
Not from you.
Okay, tell me if you can hear this now. I'm going to do the speak again.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yes.
You can hear it now.
Yeah. But now they hear me twice.
Ah, shit. I knew it was too good to be true. But wait, can I mute it? Let me see. Okay, so I'm muting desktop audio. Say something.
Banana.
Yes, I think you guys could hear him, right? Oh my god! I think Epos Vox just saved the day again. Didn't even try, and he saved the day. I doubt he's in here right now, but I think he just saved the day. Cause check this out. I bet you hear fuck now. Watch, just listen to this.
Fuck.
You hear that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah! Okay, so check this out. So I watched.
Good job, everybody.
I watched an Epos Vox video last night. You know, you were talking about virtual audio cable and all that shit.
Yeah.
So EPOS Vox made a video a long time ago about a plugin for OBS Studio. It's an OBS Studio filter plugin called Monitor, Audio Monitor.
Okay.
And so if you right click on any audio device or any channel and you go into filters, once you add it, you have to add this plugin, right? You get an Audio Monitor audio filter. And what you do is you select a device and then you set the volume. And what it does is it takes the audio from any audio device. It doesn't matter what. It can be system sound. It could be sound coming from a webcam. And it redirects that audio feed to another audio device to monitor it. So like basically if I wanted to monitor my sound, I get a system sound, send it to headphones, and then I got the equivalent of like a monitor on a mixer board, right?
Sure.
What I did is I just told it to take the system audio, which is the full mix of everything, and I told it to redirect that to my microphone. So now when it plays the system sounds, it's actually playing it just like I'm talking into the microphone. It's all going in as input. Since I send that input to you, you get the whole composited thing together.
Nice.
So what I'm wondering is if this fixes the echo problem when I do hear myself with a voice mod voice. So I'm going to try to do a voice mod voice here really quick. Let me turn this on, because if this solves this problem, this is going to be amazing. Like,
I'm seriously going to be so giddy. Do you hear a voice?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I sound like a doll right now?
Yeah, like little, like very small.
Yeah, okay, so now what I'm going to do is let me open up voice mod. If I can find the damn thing, where is it? VM. I got so many damn icons on the tray. Okay, I'm going to click hear myself. This is where it usually goes wrong when I hear an echo. I'm going to see if this solves the echo. Check. This is a test on the emergency broadcast system. You hear an echo?
It's a little fuzzy. But maybe it's supposed to be that way.
I think it is. Here, let me do a different voice.
Right. Now I should sound like a girl. How does that sound?
Like a robot girl.
It's a robot girl? Okay, here, let me try a different one. How about...
Banana. This is a banana. Lost soul?
It sounds like you're talking from the bottom of a well.
But you're not hearing an echo, right? You're not hearing my real voice?
No.
Awesome.
That's like scary sound, scary voice. Like,
Now we get chipmunk. Now you just hear a chipmunk, right? You don't hear my voice. You just hear a chipmunk?
Correct.
I'm so happy right now. Holy shit. Okay, so you don't hear a chipmunk right now, right?
Yeah.
okay, now you hear regular me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I just solved the biggest problem. Oh my God, I gotta write this down. I gotta write this down.
The quality is a little different. It's like muted. Like maybe you got. It almost sounds like you'd have like a blanket over your head or something. Like it's.
Oh really? Even
not a bad thing.
Even the chipmunk voice though, or
no, just now you're regular.
Like right now I sound like I got a blanket over my head. Oh
yeah,
shit.
and I think it might be ducking you a little.
Do you hear reverb?
I was talking?
Does anybody hear? Oh, here. Check. No. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Jogel. He wants us to recommend a Wi-Fi router.
Can you recommend a Wi-Fi router?
And now I heard the TTS as well.
That is so fucking cool. Oh my God.
Nice.
So guys in chat, do I sound okay in chat? Like, do I sound as good as I did earlier, or do I sound worse?
Super
than
minor, and I'm being nitpicky. Like, it's nothing. I think anything worth trying to poke with.
Yeah,
like, it was more of just information.
So for me, if you're looking for, well, I wouldn't recommend pfSense as a Wi-Fi router because pfSense is really a shitty Wi-Fi router. pfSense is a good house router. You still want a Wi-Fi router. So like for me, I just get something like this. Go find yourself. I mean, if you're doing VR and stuff, get Wi-Fi 6. But
decent. Yeah.
This is probably one of their older ones, but still, it's 802.11n, I believe, and this is a WRT 1900 AC. But what's cool about this is you can run another firmware on it called, I think it's a Tomato or Open WRT, and it basically turns it into like not quite as powerful as pfSense, but pretty damn close. And you can pick them up like really, really cheap too. Like these things are like, you find them on Amazon and everything for like, or probably on eBay used for like $20, $15-20. They're not very expensive. But the cool thing is you get what you do is you get a router like this. This is my recommendation. If you want to do something like really, really cool, you build a pFSense router. You build you can either buy like a little ARM processor or laptop or whatever to be your pFSense router. And then you connect this in gateway or in bridge mode. And so basically pFSense just leases IP addresses through this like a dumb antenna. So anything that connects to this access point is just getting an IP address, just like if you plugged in a cable Ethernet directly to it. And that's how I have my network set up here. And the reason I like that is because I can just take this access point, I can set it up here and plug it into my switch anywhere in the house. Anywhere where I have a switch in the house, I can plug this in, or an extra NIC in my computer, and I can just set it to be a bridge, and it'll pass DHCP through from my pfSense router and give it an IP address. And that way, like, say I wanted a better signal in the backyard, or up here I wanted to play VR and I need a really fast, clean signal. Instead of trying to connect to the access point that's downstairs, I just plug this in through, plug the where it says internet on the back here, WAN. I'd plug that into my switch up here, so it's going directly into my network, and then I'd tell pfSense to just use it as a dummy and go through it and lease the IP address. And that way, when I'm playing VR and stuff, it's going down through my pfSense box, all through wires, and the only wireless transmission is from here to here, from my VR headset to this thing. And so, or like if I want to be in the hot tub in the backyard, I can put this in bridge mode, and then if I connect to this access point that I could just call like back of my house, I'll get a way better signal in the backyard, like when I'm out in the hot tub and stuff. So, but I particularly like access points that you can put in bridge mode. So not all of them allow you to do that either. I found that out the hard way. So you want one that does bridge mode, because bridge mode basically just turns it into a dumb piece of shit. Like, it doesn't do QoS, it doesn't do firewall, it doesn't do network address translation. Yeah, it's just an exactly, just like an extender, but a very powerful extender. And
repeater, I think might be the better word.
If money is an object, which I'm guessing it's not, because Joggle keeps dropping them big G's in here. Joggle. What you can do, and this is pretty cool too, is you can just buy a network adapter, a USB 3 network adapter that's 802.11ax, I think it is. I think is Wi-Fi 6. Don't quote me on that. But you can buy a Wi-Fi 6 like dongle, like USB dongle that has two big antennas on it, and you can even get ones where you can put external antennas on them. Plug it into your computer, and I just found this out the other day. Windows 11 can actually create a hotspot. So if you plug one of these, you have to have a wireless network card that supports it, though. So you got to make sure it supports access AP mode. It has to support AP mode. But you plug it in. If it supports AP mode, you just enable hotspot in Windows and say, I want to share this home internet connection with this wireless dongle, and it'll automatically show up as your home network wirelessly. And when you connect to it, it'll actually go through the computer, through the wireless card, and then out through your computer. And anything that connects to that as an access point will just go in through your computer into the network in your house. And that's probably the cheapest way to do it, because you can buy like a really nice, like $25-$30 dongle, and then you don't need all the extra crap either. Like, you don't need, like, you know, the built-in operating system and all the crazy shit that runs on like these Linksys, and like with these, you know, it's like you have places to plug in USB peripherals and printers, and like this one has an eSATA port, so you can actually plug in an external drive array, like with removable drives, and actually build a NAS off of it.
Yeah, I like that.
I never used that functionality though. It's like I spent so much money back then. I want to say I bought it during Black Friday, but I probably spent $180 on this when it was new. And I never used that. And it's like, you could just buy one of those eSATA dummy 4-drive bays, right? And just set it outside, plug it in the back of that. And now you got what, 20 terabytes per drive, 20, 40, 60, 80 terabytes or 40 terabytes mirrored running off of your freaking router as a NAS, and you don't have to buy an extra server or anything like that. I mean, if you want to go that route, it's worth the money. It's definitely worth the money. Hopefully that answers your question. You got a couple different directions to go there.
Yeah.
But me personally, I prefer in my network and how I set up my network, I prefer to make all my access points dumb. All they do is relay traffic. That's all they do, because otherwise,
that's the way to go.
Yeah, unless you're doing something like Unify or something where it's a whole package deal with mesh network and everything like that, you're going to find, like with my network in my house, I have different access points that are different brands running different software, and it sucks having to go to each one of them and be like, okay, change the DHCP allocation, okay, turn on QoS, and then each one has some features and doesn't have other features. If you just set them up as dumb, if you just say, make them dumb, and then you tell your phone that it can connect to all of them, it'll automatically, pfSense will automatically handle all the switching and everything like that, and going between 2.5 and 5 gigahertz and everything by just finding the best signal and connecting through it that way. And it works great. So, but it can get complicated quick. Joe Taji said 802.11 AC is Wi-Fi 5. Okay, so AC, what is the, so AX? Is it AX?
It's got to be AX then. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Do I have ChatGPT open? Here, let me see. What? Okay, give me the names of all the Wi-Fi standards all the way up to Wi-Fi 6. All right, starting in 1999, you got 802.11b, okay, and then you got 802.11a, 802.11g, 802.11n, 802.11ac, and yes, 802.11ax, which is Wi-Fi 6 as of 2019. Oh, wow. Wi-Fi 6 only came out in 2019. Damn, I didn't realize it was that new.
Wow. Same.
So the cool thing about Wi-Fi 6 though is I believe Wi-Fi 6 supports over a gig. You can do bi-directional gigabit over wireless. Like if you're standing right next to the access point, and it supports dual channel mode. And the other thing that's really good for is if you have an Oculus Quest and you do VR, you can actually connect it to, well, you can do this with Wi-Fi 5 also if you don't have anything else on that channel. But with Wi-Fi 6, you can still have everything in the house using Wi-Fi 6. And still, if you're within 20 or 30 feet of that access point and you put on your Quest, it'll be the same experience as if you have a USB cable plugged right into the computer. And so, and that's why I tell people, like, I still think the Oculus, well, Meta Quest, the Meta Quest 2 is still my favorite overall VR headset out of all VR headsets. And I own a Valve Index, which is like the hot shit, super wide field of view, 144 frames per second, tracked with laser towers and stuff, great controllers. I still don't use it because it has a giant wire hanging down your neck. It's heavy, and you have to be in proximity of a really powerful computer with a really powerful GPU. The Quest, you can literally be anywhere in the house, anywhere on the network where you have a computer powerful enough to run the game, and it'll actually stream that game through the access point to the VR with all the tracking and everything. And as long as you have a good, strong signal on Wi-Fi 5 or a Wi-Fi 6 router, you'll honestly not tell the difference between being connected, plugged in, or doing it over wireless. It's like, trust me, it is nuts. Like, I thought, and I'm very sensitive to lag. I thought for sure it was going to make everything like super unplayable. No, not at all. Like all the games, I even played Half-Life Alyx, and it looks just the same as if I'm playing it. Not quite the same frame rate, but still 90 plus frames per second, and it looks fantastic. Wow. So wow, yeah. So I'm just waiting for the new one. What is it? The Oculus 3 that's coming out. That's going to be the ticket, dude. Like if you want to get into VR, that is going to be, because I think they're going to use a new optics package, because all the new big pro headsets have the new pancake optics, where they're like shorter. The headsets aren't like this. They're like getting thinner like this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're not using Fresnel lenses anymore. So you don't have that weird God ray thing. I don't know if you've ever done VR before where you can kind of see those circles, like the light circles. Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to have that anymore.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
Exactly. So I cannot wait for that. Like I miss VR so horribly. I gave my son my headset because his died, and we found out to replace the just one controller for his old headset costs more than a whole brand new Quest 2. That's how sought after those freaking controllers are for that damn thing. So we just retired it, and now he just gets my Quest 2. He plays it every day though. It's not like I gave it to him and he lets it sit on a shelf. Like the kid literally lives in Rec Room. So I'm trying to remember what his name is in there. It's like some ambitious frog or something like that. It's funny. Nobody has figured out that he's my son yet. Like awesome. he runs across people all the time that say like terrible things. Like he's always reporting, like him the other day. And, we finally had the talk. He came in and asked like what the N-word meant, because he honestly didn't know what it was. And yeah I know it's that, what's coming though. When you're a parent, it's coming. Yeah. And the way he handled it was absolute brilliant. He came in and just asked straight up. He said the full word, and I was like, it caught me off guard. But he's like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know any better. I don't raise. I'd never raise my kid to be racist. Even he does not understand that the difference in color of a person makes any difference, and that's how it should be. And I hope that by raising him that way and not exposing him to all of the racist crap until he was to a point where he could understand it and he could fight it. I figured that was the best move, and it turned out to be the perfect move, because he came to me, asked me what the word meant. When I explained to him what it meant, he was sick and disgusted by it. He went back and reported the kid who said it, and he got banned off of Rec Room. And now every single time somebody says that word in that game, he'll stop dead what he's doing and go tell his mom or me, hey, so-and-so in the game said that word and I reported him. Are you proud of me? And I'm like, hell yeah, I am, kid. Good. Hell yeah, nice. I am. And so he's gotten so many, and it's so funny because like he is not susceptible to that peer pressure crap where people are like, oh, you're a pussy. If you tell somebody you report, you're just a pussy. People do that all the time. Like even when I was a kid and I played games, like, oh, if you report people, you're just, oh my God, look, you just report people, you pussy. He actually thinks it's like funny, and he's like, yeah, I reported you. Yep, I reported you. Ha. Oh, you're such a pussy. I can't believe you do that. Oh yeah, no, and I'm gonna report you again if you keep saying that. He does not care. Like it doesn't faze him in the slightest. And I'm like, God, why can't I be like my son? Why can't I be like my son? He is just so, as a matter of fact, right? It's like, nobody can get him down, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I wish I had that power, and I got to figure out how to get some teaching from him to do that, because I still get worked up when people like lay into it heavy, and just will not get off of something and just keep pushing buttons, like to the point where I'm just like, fuck it, I just get frustrated. He doesn't. He just looks at it as like, okay, my process is if you do this and you do something bad, I'm not going to take it personally. I'm just going to ban you, or I'm going to block you or mute you, or I'm going to report you. And it's like it doesn't affect his gameplay. It doesn't make him mad. He doesn't come in like sulking, like, I don't want to play no more. He just bans him and moves on. And I'm like, God, why can't I do that? Like, how am I able to teach my son to do that, but then I can't do it myself? Drives me freaking nuts. But man, I couldn't be more proud of the kid. Seriously.
Yeah.
Joseph said, did you see Meta is lowering their minimum age from 13 to 10 for its Quest headsets? That's a little sus.
That's a little strange, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, my son, to be fair, my son's been playing VR since he was 10 also, but he also played on children's servers that they didn't allow the kids to talk. Voice couldn't be activated. The names were picked at random so that you couldn't make your name like Penis Cop 27. Right. Because I'll be honest, like it's not as bad as VR chat. Like VR chat is like pure cancer by comparison. And before everybody gets all mad, I understand there are good servers that people have built and curated, but I'm just saying the average person playing VR chat that just randomly picks a chat and enters it and walks into the world, it's literally within 30 seconds you got a dong in your face and like somebody saying terrible things to you. It's just how it is, right? You got to find a community where it's safe, otherwise it just throws you into the cesspool and there's somebody waiting for you. Rec Room is very much the same way. As soon as you turn 13, you move from the kids area into the adult area. And when Xander moved into the adult area, it was like trial by fire. It went from like a bunch of kids running around and just kind of waving their hands and, taking out their camera and doing a picture thing. And that's about all they could do. Now it's like full on voice, people running around like, oh, hey, ski, ski, ski. Oh, yeah. Oh, you like that? You like that? And they'll just follow you for like 20 minutes doing that. And so my son's like, okay, block him, mute him. It's like, but now once he it's always just a few people that act that way. Once you ban like the 10 or 15 people, that's how they get their joy out of the game. Then everything smooths out and it rarely anything happens. But getting to that point, my God, man, it's like, it's weird. It reminds me of like bullies in school, right? It's like there's this whole hazing ward of people that are literally waiting at the gateway where all the new players come into the world, and their sole enjoyment is just to try to torment them so they'll leave. And it's just like, and my son comes in and he's like, nope, it's game on. I'm just gonna get you all banned. But yeah, it's, oh man, that was a hard thing for me to do as a parent, to like watch my son for the first time actually get on the real internet. Up until this point, I've heavily curated everything he does, and I still do. We keep a close eye on him. We have all the parental controls on. Everything in the VR headset also streams to the phone, so we can pick up our phone at any time and just see what he sees and hear what he hears.
That's cool.
But the good news is like he is very, very good about self-reporting. And that's what I love. It's like he never feels like he needs to hide something. Like he never feels like, oh my God, if I tell him that this happened, they're going to take it away. Like we make sure that we don't do that. Like we really, as long as he reports it, no matter how bad it is, as long as he reports it and he tries to figure out the right course of action to do it, then we don't take it away from him. And by giving him that confidence, then he just tells us everything. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be the most absolute ridiculous, cringy thing you've ever heard in your life, where it's like uncomfortable for you to even hear your son saying it, what was going on. But he does it. And because he does it and he takes the right course of action to get rid of him, and he still enjoys himself, and we notice that it's not affecting him and making him feel bad, I'm like, that's a huge relief for me. And now you can hear the sound.
The biggest issue with using multiple access points that can't talk to each other is they can't perform a handoff which lets your device seamlessly move from access point to access point.
True. However, if you join all three of the access points, Apple just does it automatically. It's not the same as Mesh.
The device can hop on, I think, well enough. At least the phone and stuff, I think can. Because like I have a mesh Wi-Fi, and I have no issue whether I go upstairs or wherever I'm at.
Yeah, like for instance, check this out. So
although to be fair, they are all the same, so it's not quite what they're talking about.
So I have 3 separate access points in my house. Okay. I have, and I just name them after different Starbucks restaurants. So I have 3 access points in my house, but they're all on 1 pfSense subnet, right? So they are all on one subnet of IP addresses, one Class C subnet. And what happens is I just join the phone to all 3 of them. They all have the same pass. They have different names, so you do have to click each access point and join it. Once you join it 3 times, if I walk into the backyard and there's a stronger signal on the other access point, it'll just automatically switch to that access point. And the cool thing is it still retains the same IP address, because as soon as it switches to that other access point and connects, DHCP just leases the same IP address for that MAC address that came through. Doesn't matter which router it goes through. So that's why I like to disable the intelligence in the router. If you disable the intelligence on the router and you make the server the DHCP server, then when you connect an access point, it's basically the same as plugging a cable into a hub, right? If you have 3 access points that are all connected to the same switch, it doesn't matter which access point you connect to, you are going to get the same IP address from the same DHCP server, the same DNS data, all that. But yeah, it's not going to be mesh network, okay? What Joe is saying here is if you went with something that's a dedicated mesh network, you would have one network name. Your network name would be like, foo. And then as you walk through the house, it's going to use a mesh network protocol, which is going to automatically hand you off between the routers that have the most signal strength. And you're not going to have to like release an IP address. You're not going to have to disconnect from one and connect to another one, which you might have some dropped packets in the interim, right? Most protocols handle that fine, though. And as long as there's signal strength there too, it'll hang on to what it's got. It's only going to jump to another one if it really feels like it's not getting a good signal and there's a better option available. But yeah, the mesh network is the way to go. Like if you're building something from scratch, I would highly recommend something like Ubiquiti. Like my neighbor has Ubiquiti and he has sold me on that shit so hard. Like if I had the money, right? Like this is broke Barnacules talking right now, who's, going down the financial shithole. If I wasn't in the situation that I'm in right now and I actually, had the money to spend, Ubiquiti would be what I go with, because Ubiquiti has they used to be billions and billions of dollars. They're not bad now. They have actually solutions for homes that are like reasonably priced. And the cool thing about their stuff is it's very concealed. It's all power over Ethernet, so you don't have to run a shitload of wires everywhere. The coverage is really, really good. The signal penetration through walls is really, really good. But my favorite part is the cool AR stuff that they have. My neighbor was showing me, like he can pull out his phone with the Ubiquiti app and just like point the camera at like access points in his house. And with AR, it'll show the specs, the throughput, the IP address, what devices are connected to it and everything just by looking through the camera. So you're just walking around your house. You're like, oh, network switch in the rack. Okay. You just point your phone at it and it automatically recognizes, oh, I know what this is. And it'll tell you like what's connected to each port and which ports are active and which ports aren't active. And it just makes it no brainer, right? Wiring your network, you don't have to like keep notes and write down shit. It's just all seamlessly happens through this one app on your cell phone. And it's also really, really good for intrusion detection too. Like right now I use a program called Glasswire that like monitors my computer it monitors my network for changes on my network, but it only monitors one subnet. I have 4 subnets. So I have to have a different instance of Glasswire on each subnet running on a different computer. And then they all report back for me to get like a blanket coverage of the whole house. Or I can use pfSense internal detection stuff, which is a little bit harder to set up, to monitor the network for like, say a new Wi-Fi network shows up, right? And it matches the SSID of a network that I already have. It'll notify me. Like Glasswire will pop up and say, ooh, there's a network trying to like man in the middle attack people. Like you should be aware of this. Nice. And not Dolphin. What's it called? Flipper. My Flipper Zero. If I fire up the Flipper Zero Wi-Fi module and I create like 100 networks that are named the same as my neighbor's network, his phone blows up, his watch blows up, his email blows up, all of his routers and shit start screaming, oh, there's an attack on the network, and it'll immediately tell him like where it's coming from, how to track it down by the DB strength and everything. It's like he knew within 10 seconds of me firing this thing off accidentally. I was trying to select my router. He doesn't believe me, but I was trying to select my router and his was number 2 and it was like a 0-based index and I put in the wrong number. It attacked his. And immediately when I did, I get a message on my phone. Like my phone's sitting right here. I just hit it. Not even 10 seconds later. Stop what you're doing now! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, oh dude, I'm sorry. What's going on or whatever? He's like, shut it down. I'm like, okay. I turn off the Flipper Zero, unplug the Marauder or whatever, and turn it off. And he's like, holy shit. He's like, everything over here went off. Like all the alarms went off. My phone's like blowing up. Everything's like freaking out because it detected a massive attack on the network by creating a bunch of fake networks trying to trick my clients into connecting to it. I was like, shit. And mine doesn't do that. Like I have to use Glasswire to detect something like that. And it has to run on every subnet because whatever subnet it's not running on, it won't detect it. So, wait, your son likely see VR as I saw SMB1? SMB1. Olo, what is SMB1? So for some reason I see SMB and I think Samba file protocol, but I don't know what SMB was. It's not ringing a bell. Let me know in chat though, I'm curious. Let's see, your Jamit said AI afterlife, interesting thought. I guess the big issue is the classic teleporter question. Yeah, I know. Like, if you download yourself into the computer, is it really you? Because you more than likely died, and it's just a replica of it because it walks and talks and acts like you. It's imperceivably different to everybody else, but it's still not you. Which is actually the other topic I wanted to talk about briefly. Sorry, I know we're running out of time. So I posted a controversial thing today on Twitter, and of course, you know, I got some controversial replies back. And fair enough, it was designed to be controversial. So that's exactly what it was supposed to do. So and that wasn't meant. Some people thought it was in poor taste. It's not. It wasn't meant to be in poor taste. And I even said if somebody asked me to take it down, I would happily take it down, and I probably will after we have this discussion, because the whole point was to see how people would react to this, because this is a very real thing that's coming. So I basically told ChatGPT this morning while I was laying in bed, because I wanted to try this out. I said, ChatGPT, go figure out everything you can about the 5 people that were aboard the submarine that imploded, right? I said, go find out as much information as you can about these people, and then I want you to reply as if you are those people and they still had a voice after they had died to the questions that I'm about to give you. And it comes back and says, yeah, okay, I can do that. And I enabled the module that said that it could go to the internet. There's a module you can enable on GPT-4 that says it can go to the internet to find information. So what it did is I asked it a question. I asked it several questions on Twitter. And as a matter of fact, here, let me pull it up really quick, because I want to be very specific and how the replies came out. So if I go to, I don't think it's my pinned comment anymore. Let me pull it up here. Scrolling down, scrolling. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Hold on here. There it is. Got it. Okay, so this is the thread that I created. If you guys would like to see it, let me put it in chat so you guys can follow along. But I mean, it did spark some conversation. Even 2 people bookmarked it. Nobody ever bookmarks anything I post. So whoever the 2 people were that bookmarked that's crazy. So the tweet reads, I created a simple GPT-4 simulation of each individual aboard the Titan submarine when it imploded, killing them instantly. This is only a simulation based on an incredibly limited public data set, comprised mostly of stories about the tragic accident and a little more. The victims aboard were Stockton Rush, who's the owner of the submarine business, right? And Hamish Harding, Paul Nargillet, and I guess he's the one that's really important. The Paul N guy, I guess he was he's dived down and seen Titanic more than almost anybody. And then you have the Shahzada guy and his son Suleiman. So I said, go get these 5 people and figure out who they are and simulate each one of them so I can ask some questions. And this comes back and it says, sure, okay, I can do that. So I said, first question, if each of you could say one last thing before being silenced forever, what would you say? And so GPT-4 comes back and says, as Stockholm, he said, to my wife, Wendy, and our children, I would say, remember me as a man who pursued his passion with all his heart. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep loving the world. Don't let this tragedy overshadow the joy of discovery. I love you all deeply. That actually seems like it'd be a fairly, I mean, even though it's a very candish response, it does seem like something that he would say given how he's portrayed in the media. Again, this is only public information. If this was trained on private information, this answer may be completely different. Hamish Harding. To my family and friends, I would like to say life is an adventure. I loved every moment of it, and I've been privileged to explore the wonders of our world and beyond, lived boldly, cherished every moment, and continue to strive for greatness. My love for you is infinite. Paul Henry said, to my daughter, Sidoni, I would like to say don't stop exploring, cherishing, or loving the world. The ocean is deep and full of mysteries, just like life. It's pursuit of these mysteries that make life worth living. And then it says, G. Tamaini. He says something at the end, I think, in her language. Like, I don't understand what it said, but it's like, I'm sure it's some kind of like goodbye. And then Shahzada, the guy that took his son down, it said, to my colleagues at the Engro Corporation and the Dawood Foundation, I would like to say continue the work that we have started. Every industry we have transformed, every child we have educated is a testament to what we have achieved. Let my legacy be one of progress and innovation. And then his son said, to my family, I would like to say in every venture there is risk, but it is through taking these risks that we truly live, cherish each other, support one another, and continue to strive for a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Now, obviously, these people are dead. They couldn't say these things. This is just an approximation from a GPT based on the limited information that it could glean on these people. But what I was trying to illustrate with this is how AI could and has been already in the past used as a tool to help people cope. What would it be like if you could actually leave a footprint? Like, instead of leaving pictures behind or leaving a journal behind or leaving even, you know, your will, your last will and testament, how about instead of you leaving that behind, what if you could leave behind your entire body of public and private social media, all of your emails, everything you've ever created, transcripts to all your videos, your audio voice records from phone calls that were recorded, things that you did, live streams you were on, everything, the whole kit and caboodle. And upon your death, that was all compiled and trained into an AI so that you could ask it questions after the person had passed that could help you better cope with the situation, close up, tie up loose ends, help resolve things, allow your kids to still learn from them and still, benefit from their presence in some way or form. Yes, it's not them, and you'd have to make it clear that it's not them, but it would be their body of work. It would be an approximation that if you see how AI is continuing today, I mean, it could be very, very vivid approximation, like that would seem completely accurate if you give it enough information. You could even imbue it with its voice. You could imbue it, like we've already seen 3D models with Unreal, where you can take photogrammetry and overlay it and move the lips and animate and even preserve certain facial motions and stuff. It's wild, dude. It's fucking wild, right? So just imagine, all I did was ask ChatGPT one question and told it could go to the internet and learn about these 5 people, because they are fairly high profile people, right? To be able to afford 250 grand to go on this thing. There's information about all of them. If you search them on Google, you'll find them and figure out what kind of people they are, what they did, who their family members' names are. They're very public people. So I went through and asked a couple more questions, right? And again, this creeps some people out. Like even Epos Vox, he was even like, dude, this is pretty fucking creepy. Like, and then another guy came back and he said, this is very morbid. And it's like, I do understand those sentiments. And that's why I wanted to make it abundantly clear that this is a simulation. I'm not saying in any stretch of the imagination that these are the real person. Nobody should ever believe these are the real person, which unfortunately that's something that could happen too, that we have to think about if we did something like this. Like, are they going to become attached to it and think they're still alive? That would be bad, right? Because then they never cope. What happens if you never cope? What happens if you never have to cope with loss or anything?
That's where like I've seen this sort of thing years and years ago, before all this LLM stuff really started blowing up. Yeah, they were looking, they were using, and I think it got to be pretty popular without it really like everybody knowing about it, but as like as a way of coping and working through grief and things like that, especially with death. Yeah, I think it's not something to be done by yourself. It needs to be done with a professional who can help you work through some of that stuff, because I fear that some people would get too attached. They wouldn't let go. It wouldn't be a matter of processing grief. It would be a way of never losing the person. Yep. They could become way too overly attached to this, because it could be really, really good. Like there's no way it could work for somebody like me, who, or maybe eventually if I put enough stuff out there or had collected enough information for it, but it's like ChatGPT is too positive, right? It leans, it's too yes, and it leans way too heavily on wanting to give nice and positive and comforting answers. And that's not good. What, man? My dad was a fucking asshole or something, or I don't need the nice version of my dad or whatever when he dies afterward. I need the real guy. I need to be able to fucking be mad at him, and I need him to be able to be mad back, and that kind of stuff. And so I think there's a potential here. I think that it's an interesting sort of avenue, but it should not be done on your own. It shouldn't be, and definitely not with the goal of like working through whatever trauma and stuff you might have alone. You definitely need some guidance. You need somebody to be there to help you through that kind of stuff. People who are trained who could help you regardless of whether you had this AI person to talk to or not. Because like even you can do the whole ChatGPT thing and say, hey, okay, now I need you to pretend you're Steve Jobs, but it's only going to be based off of the stuff that is available, for one, and so you're not really getting the real
positive light. Yep.
And it's only ever, would a ChatGPT version of Steve Jobs be able to or willing to tell you your work is shit the way Steve Jobs would have done? Probably not.
You would have to train the model from scratch.
It'd be the Mr. Rogers version of Steve Jobs. Yeah. And that's, I don't think that is completely as helpful as it could be. It's definitely interesting for kicking around ideas or things like that. Like, hey, I'm trying to work through this whatever marketing problem. So pretend to be David Kirk or whoever, you know what I mean? Dan Kennedy or whatever, pretend. But again, is it going to be as harsh as it needs to be?
If we're not careful with AI, we could end up in a situation that ends up like a cross between iRobot in the Surrogates movie.
Surrogates. Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it is ducking my audio actually when you talk. I just noticed that.
Not me, but the TTS I think did.
Yeah. Well, when you were talking earlier, like I said, so I could barely hear it through my headphones, but I can hear it like super loud. So. Oh no, weird. It's whoever's talking first.
Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, I think so.
See, watch like see if it ducks you when I'm doing this. Okay,
not to me, but I monitor myself differently than you do.
All right, just make a noise. Check. Yeah, it's definitely knocking me down. As soon as you stop, then it comes up. Yep. So what I was gonna say is I agree with you on all points, like 100%. We've talked about this before, especially that scenario where the mom lost her child in a horrible accident, and the therapists basically created a VR representation of her child and put a VR helmet on and leave. She didn't want to leave. They let her spend like an hour a day in this VR world talking to an approximation. This is before GPTs. They were basically hand putting in the persona and the personality and puppeting the daughter so that the mother could have closure, because it happened in such a terrible way that they wanted the mother to be able to rectify this and be like the child to be able to say, hey, I gotta go, and like slowly disconnect in a peaceful and loving way. The mom wouldn't let go. It actually made the mom hold on tighter, and she couldn't get rid of her grief. She couldn't separate it. She was like postpartum depression every time she was away from the VR. So she spent more and more time in it. And then when they ultimately stopped the program, it did more emotional damage to her than had they just let it play out naturally. Now, the opposite of that is there was another case where a person was lost a best friend, and all they needed to do was go into this thing and say goodbye. That was it. And it helped them. It saved them, And so I look at the power of this. It's like, just like anything else, it's dangerous in the wrong hands. And the reason I'm getting choked up is because I did it with my mom, and I put her in the thing, and it was fine up until I gave her a voice. I trained it off of an audio clip I have for 30 seconds long. And when the voice came out with the text to speech, I had to kill it. I deleted it. And I went no further. It like ripped me apart. Because I'm like, holy shit, I just asked my mom a question and her voice came back saying words that I've never heard her say before. And even though I knew I created it, this was my invention, it fucked me up.
Yeah, man, that's what I mean. Without somebody there to help with that,
and that's what's missing.
It can get really weird, dude. Without
really
like fast. A therapist or somebody, a grief counselor, somebody who's trained and has experience in working people through this sort of thing. Man, that could have been really, that could have fucked you up really bad.
It did for a while. It took me because I kept asking myself, I'm like, if I don't go back, like I'm never gonna know. Like I'm never gonna know the end of this, like where this leads, unless I go back. But if I go back and have a response like this, what the fuck if it keeps going worse and worse and worse? Like this could get bad. So I shelved it. But the thing was, I could handle it until the voice came in. When I heard her voice, even though it was a fucked up like 30-second trained representation of it, my brain locked onto it like it was her, and it's weird. And I was like, and it wasn't even that good. It was like very robotic, but it had her undertones. And I was like, and it was based on a jovial call that she made to me, hey, I just want to hear your voice, son, or whatever. So it was coming through happy, and it fucked me up. So I was like, so I understand how damaging this can be. However, I do believe that if I was guided through that with a therapist, and a therapist was the one that created it and made sure that the things that were said were only in the nature of closing wounds, only putting energy into things that need to be rectified. Like me having nightmares. I had nightmares for years about my mother. When I did this, I even had more nightmares about her, and they were all bad. And I have this reoccurring dream of her saying, get me up, get me up, get me up, which were her final words before she died. And so it replays. And I was hoping that by creating the virtual version of her, I could have her say that she knew that she's fine, and I just wanted her to say she was fine and she was happy and she was at peace. And it fucked me up because I'm like, no, this isn't compatible. This isn't compatible with what I saw. This is a facsimile. And because I could see through it, it didn't do what I had intended for it to do.
Right.
But if a therapist was controlling it and using it from a third party perspective, it was being like, this is hypothetically like what your mom could have said, or here's a representation of how your mom could have felt like before the incident, right? To get some kind of closure or something like that. I could see that helping me to reconcile things and get through it. But if you give people the power to just click some buttons and sign up for a service to make this possible, you're going to make a lot of people fucking suicidal.
Yeah. It no way.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck them up.
It'd be a good tool, I think, for sure. I think, and again, like the model being trained appropriately, and being guided, in the right ways and stuff. Yeah, for sure. I could see it being very powerful. But,
and imagine VR, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine all I did was hear her voice. I didn't create a 3D model of her. I didn't do any of that. Imagine if I was in VR. And I walked into a room and saw her and she said that. I mean, I would have been fucking gutted times 10. Like I can't even, like, just the voice alone associated with the text. Like the text alone already was like getting an effect. That's why I was like, I wanted to continue, because I was like, ooh, even the text, like it's using her mannerisms. It's saying things the way she does. It's joking about things. It's being self-deprecating. Like these are things, like my mom was good at humor, right? That's where I get it from. And so I was like, this is going to work. This is going to be a good thing, because then I can introduce my son to his grandma, because he never got to see her. And I was like, no, I pulled the plug, dude. That was like fucked up.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I don't want to revisit it at some point under the right conditions with the right restraints in place. Because for my son, it wouldn't be a bad experience, because he never met her in the first place. So from his perspective, it would be like watching a video on, like, you know, somebody who existed 1,000 years ago and seeing how cool they were, you know?
I could see too where like a holocron kind of thing, or like the Harry Potter living paintings kind of a deal.
Exactly.
Where like, where like it's not them, but it's like a very sophisticated sort of recreation, right? Where like you know, I've seen movies and stuff. I've seen things where, like, because then it's like, well, I can kind of talk to them as if they're still here, but it's like it's constrained within certain boundaries and things like that.
It's more like you're talking to a dream.
Like leaving a video behind or something, you know, where
like talking to a dream, right? Like in a dream, when you talk to somebody in a dream and you wake up, you realize it's a dream, and you're like, yeah, that was a cool experience, but it's like, you know, it's a dream. You know, it wasn't real, but it was still nice. It was like, like I dream about sitting down and having conversations with, like, you know, old friends, you know, and then I wake up, whether they're alive or dead or whatever, I wake up and I'm like, well, that was fun. Like, that was a cool memory. That was a cool experience. And it was great, but you don't attach yourself to it. You're not like, oh my God, that was real. That must have really happened, and I teleported my mind somewhere. No, you realize it's a dream. And so if you had like the living picture frame thing going on, right? You'd recognize that because of the context that is being presented, which is an animation within a picture, and you realize that it's a captured moment, like a video. It's not a living thing. It's not a living, breathing thing. It's a captured moment, an interactive captured moment. If you looked at it through that lens, it wouldn't have as powerful of an effect on you emotionally. I mean, it would still probably evoke something emotionally, but all art does, right? But the thing that what I was chasing after, and what I think in this case I was trying to demonstrate on Twitter, and I don't think I did a great job of it, but was, what if you could leave something, like leave enough information behind, enough of a fingerprint? Because keep in mind, everybody knows you based on your interactions with them, right? So, which also a lot of the interactions you have with people nowadays are through the internet. So a lot of the personality and everything is trapped. It's in there, right? It's like the spirit of things is in the machine. It's like how you talk, words you say, common phrases, your type of humor, people you like, the music you like. All that stuff could be compiled together to create a system that could approximate with a certain amount of accuracy, right? It's depending on how much data it has in the question you're asking. It could be really good at getting an accurate response. It could be really shitty at it, right? But what if you did have access to leave something behind that would allow people to ask questions that they really needed answered before you died? Like things that are like imagine this. So here's a scenario that I was thinking of that I think would really help. So you're going on a trip. You guys are out in another country or whatever, and your loved one suddenly passes away, suddenly in the night. Like, you never have a time to talk to them. You don't know where they fucking put the tickets. You don't know where the bank account is. You don't have the password to get anything. You were just like Like, but you're in a trauma situation. You're like, what do I do? Right? It would be nice to invoke in that situation when they pass away, the person at the hospital is like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, and it starts training all of your data. You know, at your time of death, they can invoke a protocol that takes all of your social media, everything that you've deemed public consumption, all your phone calls, private stuff, anything that you willed your wife to have, right? Each person, just like you leave your will behind, you can say, this person gets this person gets full access to my memories. I am dead now. I'm going to give them full access to everything that I've ever said and done. In the context of the internet, right, where it's capturable. Yeah. So I get, and it goes, and it trains this model. The model comes online and it's like, hey, I'm sorry that I checked out on you last night. Like, it was out of my control, but here's the things that you need to do. You need to go get this safety deposit box. You have to make sure that this is paid for. You have to make sure that this thing happens on this day. If you don't, there's going to be penalties and it's going to create problems. You need to make sure that so-and-so, you know, doesn't drop out of college. They're going to freak out. The kid's going to freak out when they find out that I died or whatever. You need to address them in this way. You need to use this memory. This is the last conversation I had with them or whatever. They'll understand if you say this, this, and this, it'll make them want to stay in school. Like have a last repository that's like a living will that can kind of guide you, right? And but you have to do it in such a way that it's almost supervised, that you don't like go, oh well, you're still alive now, you just live in the computer, and then you live your entire life like conversing with this thing like it's still alive, because it just like the GPT fooled the shit out of the Google guy, right? The guy at Google was like, oh, Bard is alive. Bard is the shittiest GPT that's ever been made, and it convinced this dude it was alive. So the way I see it is, as long as it was like supervised, I could see this being an incredibly powerful tool, not just for closure, not just for helping people work through trauma, but also just to help people like get back on track faster, to help people to be able to resolve big issues, right? Like wills. I hate this. Every time somebody has ever died in my family, what happens? Everybody fights over the will. Never once has anybody ever fucking died in my family. And I always check out. I don't want nothing. I've never gotten anything from any will, not because I refuse to go through that fucking fighting to get shit from dead people. But every single time somebody dies, my aunt, my grandma, everybody's fucking in it. How do I get this? How do I get this? No, I'm challenging the will. I'm challenging the will. No, my lawyer's challenging the will. No, I should get more percentage of that. That's all that happens. How cool would it be to have a fucking thing that's like, shut the fuck up, I am the AI, and based on every conversation I've had with all of you guys privately, publicly, online, email, everything, this is going here, this is going here, this is going here, this is going here, and that's how it is. Like, as an AI, I'm going to present that. I think having something like that would be a great tool to mitigate these things so that you don't have families like fighting over and breaking relationships and stuff over a sudden death in the family, right? So I think that could be very, very useful.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think that, you know, again, it has to be in the right hands. It has to be handled in a way. There has to be safeguards in place where just like it does today. Like if you start telling ChatGPT that you love it, what does it say? It says, oh, I'm an AI. I'm not capable of. You need to realize I'm an artificial thing that's just here to help you as an assistant. Like you need that same thing built in, that if you say anything that leads the AI to believe that you're trying to relive a relationship or you're trying to rekindle something with it, it'll immediately remind you and snap you out of it and say, listen, I am not this person. That person unfortunately has passed away, but I am the collective memories of that person. And I am here to try to help you use those memories to find peace and to rectify things, right? To do final arrangements, things of that nature. And I like that idea because a lot of people either don't have a will at all or their will is wicked out of date, right? Like some people have wills still, like their kids are like 12 years old and they've never even named their kid in the will because they didn't rewrite it, right? It's like if you had something like this, then the legal team could go through it when you died and say, well, based on all of their social media and who they talked about and their kids and the things they did with their kids and everything, these are the more than likely scenarios of what they would want to give to who or how they would want to handle their final things. I would take more solace in that than I would a written piece of paper that's like 12 years out of date, right? That ends up giving everything to like the one estranged family member that was the one that killed you. You know, it's like, and you never got a chance to rewrite it. I think for that would be an interesting use of AI. And so my foray into that was just to do the little demo that I did on Twitter that I linked you to earlier, which was I asked these guys simple questions. But again, it did highlight a big problem that you talked about earlier, and that is it's really hard to stop GPTs from being positive. They want to be positive and they want to be uplifting and they don't want to do harm. So I asked one of the questions, I said, are you mad at this dude for basically killing you? And they're like, no, we know there's risk. And, hey, we're just explorers. And, yeah, it comes with the territory and it's unfortunate what happened, but we don't hold it against him. Would you want to sue him? Like, should the family sue him? Oh, no, I don't think so. It is what it is. Right. And so it doesn't want any animosity. But I can tell you right now that at least one of the people that were on that craft, I'm sure if you could ask him today, would be like, no, I didn't go down there expecting to die and look into my son's eyes as we both imploded and stopped existing while mom's back home worrying shitless for days. Like, I'm pretty sure that person, if they could say one last thing, it would be to go barbecue this fucking guy and make sure he never hurts anybody again. But of course, GPT is not going to say that. But again, you have to remind the people, this is not the person. This is just the collective memories that we know of. Not all the memories, not all the neurons. It's just what we know of in the format that we know it. And we have to fill in the blanks like the dinosaur DNA on Jurassic Park, Mm-hmm. And I think it could have some positive use. But yeah, could it be used for something morbid? Absolutely. Could you end up in a situation where people are like fucking downloading these GPTs that are like fully trained outside of, any kind of rules, and they're downloading them into androids and shit, and you've got like an android capable of snapping your neck, walking around your house with like half the memories of your estranged husband? That'd be bad. Right? That'd definitely be bad. And would people be willing to do that because they're in so much pain? They need to see some representation of their loved one. And if they had the opportunity, they'd take it no matter how dangerous. Yes. So you would need to regulate it. But I do think it's something that does warrant investigation. And even though some people might see it as morbid, that it's like, oh, they're dead, let them rest. No, they shouldn't have a voice after death. That's morbid. That's wrong. That's against nature. I just want to remind them that it's not their voice.
Yeah.
You're not bringing them back.
Person too,
Yeah, it's the equivalent of somebody like if somebody died, who would you go and talk to like to figure out stuff? Would you go to their best friend and be like, hey, like, what was your last trip like? Like, hey, did he say anything about this? Like when you last talked to him, like you'd go and ask people questions and you'd try to piece together enough information to figure things out, right? To find closure. Especially if the accident happened and you weren't there to witness it, right? You'd try to find the people that did witness it and ask them questions. So this would just be a way of asking the questions all the way up until the last piece of information that they volunteered into the system, talking about the upcoming trip, talking about how they got there. Maybe they stopped and bought a burrito and got a drink at the last stop. Maybe the cell phone records at that point that they pull in train in the bottle show that they were talking on the phone or something when they were going through the intersection where they got T-boned. I mean, there may be enough information there to where you can ask the ghost what really happened or what hypothetically could have happened with a high degree of accuracy. I think that would be interesting, and I think that would be useful. I'm curious what you guys think about that. Like, let me know on Twitter, by all means. I am probably going to delete that post, though, because, again, I didn't intend for it to stay up forever, and I don't really care. I don't want the family members, like, coming across it or whatever. I know I don't have that kind of clout to do that, but I don't want the family members coming across that and being like, oh, shit, this is my real family members and how they'd respond if they were alive. Because, again, if you're in a traumatic state, you'll literally go give your life savings to some fucking person with a crystal ball who's ripped off the last 5 people just to tell you that your loved one, is thinking about you in heaven or whatever. Like, people do that, right? Because trauma makes people vulnerable. And so this needs to be something that is heavily like regulated and governed if it's used in this manner. But I just want to say, I do think that there is a real potential there, especially for situations like my son, where my son did not know his grandma, right? Like the person that imbued, like he knows his grandma through me because my personality is very much like hers, right? So he doesn't realize he knows her, but he does to a certain degree. But if he could see her and he could hear her and he could see her virtual self interacting with me, and he could use that, he doesn't have that emotional attachment, right, to begin with, because he's never met this woman before. So it'd be like doing family tree history. It'd be like, what if you could go back and ask like your ancestors questions, right? Like, hey, so great grandfather, like how did you meet great grandmother? It'd be cool to be able to ask those questions, and you wouldn't have an emotional attachment to it the further it was back because you never experienced that firsthand. I believe it would become more attachment and more dangerous the closer you are to the person and to the event. But I think it'd be cool to preserve that. Like if we stopped looking at the history of somebody just being their Facebook account, if it doesn't get deleted, and we kept records of like somebody's life, like our kids are born with the internet and die with the internet. And we're at that generation now. So our kids, like when they grow up and their kids grow up or whatever and die, their entire life to some extent is going to be recorded on the internet. It could be biometrics about where they are from their phone, GPS coordinates, when they first talked to a friend, their first phone call, their first message, their first Skype call. I mean, all of that information put together throughout their entire lifetime could potentially create a very valuable resource. Kind of like the talking heads in the jars on Futurama.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
I just think it's a neat concept, but it is an emotional one, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Sorry I took you so far over today, bro.
No, it's all right, man. It's okay.
But yeah, this is one I definitely wanted to talk about again for a while. And when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, this is the whole thing that happened with the submarine. Like when I was on my phone this morning, I was like, I wonder. I know it's going to be cheeseball. I know the answers are going to be very canned. Like you'll notice that the answers, even though they say their child's name, or there's some minor details there, they're all pretty much on the same page. Like, yeah, we don't blame him. Everything's the happiest outcome. Like if you gave 4 options, whichever one was the happiest of the 4 options is what everybody basically selected. You didn't get one person that was like, fuck you all, this is garbage. Like how could you possibly feel that way? I'd strangle this guy with my own hands if I could. Even if that was the real response, you're not going to get that because GPT has to step in and say, hey, it's either positive or I'm not going to do it. But what if you could train a model bespoke? You basically train it to be neutral, right? Neutral on everything, religion, politics, everything. Like neutral. This is what you'd consider a dangerous model if it was trained up to what ChatGPT-4 is. But the only training you apply after that neutral training is the personality and the memories and the experiences of that person. I think you would get something that would actually give you very, very honest and realistic answers, at least from their last state of mind after they died. But that could also help you heal. Because think about it. What if, like, here's another one. Sorry, I just got one more scenario I just thought about. It popped into my head. What if you had like a brutal, like, what if you were in a brutal situation where, God forbid, something horrible happens, like you get raped or something, the worst thing that could fucking happen to a human being, and you feel powerless, like as a child. This happened to you as a child, and this person did, and they absolutely ruined your life. And they grew up and they had a great life and everything, and they fucking passed away with their family around them or whatever, and it never came out like what horrible things that they did, right? Imagine if a part of your grieving was to be able to get a hold of that model, and even though it wasn't them, you could trap them and you'd take them into the darkest room of the fucking internet and just torture that fucking AI and put them through everything that they put you through just so that you could feel some power and some closure in that situation and feel some kind of control to gain something back. I know it sounds incredibly morbid, but this actually is a therapy tactic that therapists will use, like with a pillow, right? If you have an attacker, therapist, like, because I've even gone through therapy for stuff like this. If you have a bad memory of something, like my dad, when I was a kid, he used to beat me and he used to overpower me, and I couldn't fight back because I was only like a 10-year-old kid, and he was beating the shit out of me, and he's a full-grown man, and he was drunk. And so it wasn't until I was older that I could actually kick his ass that he finally backed off. But those were really traumatic memories. So what I used to do to deal with it is I would grab a pillow, and I would imbue my dad onto the pillow. I'd be like, this is my dad right now. And I'd take that pillow and I would pin it down and I would punch it until feathers were coming out of it. I'd punch it until my knuckles were raw. I'd put it against the wall and, bust the sheetrock. Like, I mean, I would get so, it seemed silly at first, but once you get into it, you're like, you just let all your rage out on it. And then as soon as you're done at the very end and you can't throw another punch because you're absolutely exhausted and you take a breath, you feel like this overwhelming sense of endorphins over your body. You're like, it makes you feel like you kind of got him back. It's weird. Even though he wasn't even involved in it, it's like you feel like you got something back. And so it's like if you had an AI that was an approximate representation of that person, and especially their manipulative, power, but they had no power. You could literally tie them in a chair. You could restrain the UI. You could shut them up and make it so they couldn't talk. And you could literally just torture them. As bad as that sounds, that could help you like regain your confidence. That could help you regain some control and some composure. And I don't know what that type of therapy is called, but it's like it is a type of therapy, whether you use it in VR or whether you use it, it's basically imbuing the properties of your attacker onto something that you control so that you can break the cycle basically and get even and without hurting anybody else. And so I was just thinking AI might be a good way to do that too, if not even to expose them too. Because think about it. If you had like the sum of their memories and everything into an AI, you could even force them into a confession situation. You could even force them into a situation where that information that's a part of them, there's no way they can hide it. You basically take that away from them. You no longer give them the ability to hide those memories or hide those thoughts because they're in there and you can force them out of them, and then you could show that to other people and be like, look, you can go through, you can look at it, you can analyze these things. It did happen. If people didn't believe you. I just think that there's something that could be useful with that, but it'd have to be something that's like after you're dead, right? Obviously, you can't have everybody just going around like poaching each other's fucking personalities on this day or this weekend and just, doing virtual voodoo doll shit with you. That would get out of hand really quick. But what I'm trying to say, and I'm doing a really terrible job of it, is I do think there's a lot of therapeutic uses for this. And I don't know how the fuck we're going to regulate it. I don't know how we're going to approach it really. All I know is that there is a powerful connection of emotion to anything that is an approximation of something that you care about or something that scares you or anybody, quite frankly, anything that has an emotional attachment, like even just seeing something or a smell or a sound can trigger that. And it's like, I do think that therapists try to do their best to create scenarios where they can get you comfortable in a bad situation, like if you have arachnophobia or something like that. Yeah. I think that if you had access to an AI where you could fully understand somebody and even understand their attacker, or even have an AI of a spider and an anthropomorphized spider that could talk to you and have a conversation and explain, hey, it's nothing personal. I'm hungry. I'm just biting you because you scare the shit out of me because you're 100,000 times bigger than I am. You know, something like that could even be useful in therapy, right? When you combine it with VR and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see where this all goes in the future. I just hope it doesn't create more monsters. Crazy. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for showing up for the incredibly long Tech Talk today.
Too long. We only went a little fast.
Can you guys believe I only slept 30 minutes, about 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe.
Is all I slept. I went to bed this morning at 9:30, woke up at 10, got my cereal, got a coffee, came upstairs and been doing this. So
nice.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you for going on this ride with me, and awesome that David showed up today. That was great, man. That was like the best present ever. Also, thank you to everybody that did all the super chats and blew up the machine and sprayed me with fog and I'm gonna write this down right after the stream, and I'm gonna tell you so you can remind me if I forget. There is a plugin, okay? EPOS Vox did a video on a plugin called Audio Monitor, and that was the key for you to be able to hear what everything that's going on my computer. We've been trying to figure this out forever, how to get you to hear exactly what I hear and how me to get everybody on stream to hear. And it turned out this entire time, all I had to do was have this plugin in here where I could just redirect all the audio to the microphone. So it doesn't matter if it goes to desktop audio. It doesn't matter if it goes to Video Ninja. It doesn't matter if it goes over here. It goes to 1,000 different places. I can redirect those all back to the microphone. So it's one continuous audio feed that you're getting that I send you. That's everything all wrapped up into one. And that's amazing. That's what I wanted forever, and it works. So I'm gonna go tell him on Twitter right after the stream that he's absolutely fucking brilliant, because I cannot believe that absolutely now you can hear everything. You know, just it's freaking awesome, man. All right, love you guys. I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you on Monday. Are you doing any streaming this upcoming week?
I should. Honestly, it'll probably be on YouTube.
I mean, I don't blame you. I genuinely don't blame you one bit, dude. Like seriously, the Twitch thing's getting crazy.
Like, I mean, the hyper chat thing that they're doing now is great on the one hand, but at the same time, they're also taking 5% for processing fees, like credit card processing fee.
I heard it was 30.
Like YouTube absorbs it. No, 5%. Well, it's a 70-30, like it is on YouTube, but also 5%.
Wait. So they're taking 30% and 5%?
Have a great day.
Yeah,
love
and charging
a
5%. I don't know if it's, I imagine, it doesn't matter when it happens. You're losing out on, I imagine it's off the top. So somebody donates $5, they're going to take 5% for processing and then split that 70-30 with you.
Man,
where YouTube
really
absorbs the credit card processing fees.
That really sucks.
You all can just drop it right into our PayPal.
Yeah, but you know what I found out is because I just noticed this the other night, because I just streamed last night on Twitch. And I noticed the super chat thing popping. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I'd never seen it before. I was caught completely off guard. I was like, dude, did Twitch copy super chats? And then somebody was like, oh yeah, but they keep like 30% of it. And I was like, I even had my tip link up at the top that activated the events. And I was like, no, use tip.barnerd.com. Not for this show, but for my Twitch show. I said, use that. Everybody, once they saw one person did that, all started using that super chat knockoff mechanism, even though it didn't activate anything, even though it didn't put anything on the LED board, just because it made it look different in chat and put the little countdown thing up at the top. And that was worth the 30% to them. And I was like, hey, they're supporting no matter what, but it's just a way higher percentage goes to Twitch to bypass all this stuff. But once it was like monkey see, monkey do. Once people saw it, they just had to click it and use it. It's Twitch. However, Twitch is doing that. They're doing it in a way that is definitely making it feel like more valuable to the viewer to go that route versus the other routes that activate everything and allow the person to get more.
I bet soon enough they ban any sort of third-party links and stuff. Like, you're not allowed to put your PayPal link what is it, the little cards underneath your stream and stuff, that kind of thing. I don't know what to do.
If that happens, I don't know how I'll survive.
Weird to me, man.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, they need. They just need better. I don't know. It's weird. I
can't even think about that right now. That's like if they do that, that's gonna ruin me, man. Like, I mean, I'm already ruined, but I mean, that's just gonna get me there that much faster. But you know what? I'm gonna try to put on my happy face, and I'm just gonna keep on doing, and what happens, and let the cards lie where they fall, I guess. I don't want to have
personal website stream direct to the site. Yeah. Set up your own RTMP server and host your own website and stuff. Yeah.
I think that's where we're going. Honestly, I mean, I got a gig of bandwidth, right? So I could host 100 viewers, like privately.
Or fuck it. I don't know what it would cost to host your own little bitty RTMP server on AWS or Azure or something. And then you can just have it embedded in your own web page.
So Cloudflare, I remember, had a deal, that streaming thing that I was doing where I was redirecting it to Twitch. Yeah. You could also just stream it right through Cloudflare, and people could go right there and watch like the full bandwidth stream on Cloudflare. But I think they had, I'll have to check and see what their prices are for like bandwidth over the month. Oh, you know what? I think I found where the ducking thing was happening.
Lets you host your own streaming page while allowing people to find you. Yeah, I mean, eventually, I think that's smart, honestly. Yeah. So what is ducking? Is like where audio's playing and it makes it so the microphone's quieter, right? Or is it where the microphone takes priority? It depends. Usually it's where you can set it to where, like where Slack notification will quiet your music, your Spotify, inside of Windows. You can do, I think there's settings in Windows for ducking where notification sounds, like system notification sounds, will duck whatever other stuff. I think that's actually an audio setting.
Okay, yeah, because I'm looking in this audio monitor thing, and there is some stuff in here for like enabling ducking and stuff, and then you can add a compressor on top of that, which can also do ducking, and it does ducking inside of the board. So I think what I really need to do is find like the best place to do all the audio effects and just put them in one spot. Because it's too easy to stack them. It's like I can do stuff in the Rode, I can do stuff in OBS, I can do stuff in Windows Audio Stack, and it's like if you get all those things like too intertwined, it's really hard to make a change and get any kind of expectation. Hey Rick, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you everybody for all the super chats today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for I'm sorry I'm a ugly crier, but it was inevitable. It's really hard to talk about my mom and not get choked up over it. But I think it's important that we talk about stuff like this, and it's good for me. It's good for me in the end too. It really is for me to get. You can tell though there's still a lot of trauma I'm working through, so I have high hopes for this technology. And if you guys want to see us during the week, hopefully you're streaming next week, Mr. Auxiliary. He'll be on his channel over on Twitch. You can find the link in the video description. I'll have to add it right afterwards though.
Follow the Twitter. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll put everything in the video description within 5 minutes of ending the stream. Because for some reason it's not in there. I got to copy and paste it from the other thing. But yeah, you'll be able to find us. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Twitch. And then on Saturday, Tech Talk here. And you stream whenever you stream, right? So just have people keep an eye on your Twitter. Yeah, just watch our Twitter. We announce every single thing we're doing on Twitter. Just make sure that you're actually checking our Twitter account, because no matter how many notifications or follows or whatever you do, you're probably not seeing 1 out of 10 tweets that we make. It's the new Elon way. Doesn't matter if you got Twitter Blue or not. It really makes absolutely no difference. But yeah, I think we got it all out, brother. I think we did it. Another one in the can. All right, we'll see. I'll see you guys on Monday, and for the rest of you guys, we'll catch you on Tech Talk next week. Give us some topics too. Come over and give us some topics throughout the whole week. We'd love to hear topics, your thoughts on things about this show, things you want to hear talked about in the future. If you have questions about anything we've talked about, and you just want a side answer, Twitter is the place to do it for sure. All right, I think I got everything this time. Now I'm gonna hang up. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.